When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We all have our reasons why we are on this track. Oh, we all have our burdens, yeah, but we just keep on fighting and we never look back. Here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, we're still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne.
Bittersweet and I'm walking slow. Sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past, cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time, it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it. Blacking out, afraid just fading day by day. I'm reaching out for someone who can take away the pain I feel, the things I haven't done at all. I've lost my way, but how I felt I can't recall. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time, it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet.
Don't mind me, guys. I'm just getting some stuff set up on the back end. Once I got that, we'll go ahead and get the show rolling. But in the meantime, just hang out, fun. And please share this with others if they might be interested in this kind of thing. There'll be some live demos going on a little later, among other things, so we'll be looking forward to that. They got a wash bay over there, so we'll probably see some of that kind of action going on later. In the meantime, it's just sort of shaping up to be a Cars and Coffee, and as you can see in the thumbnail, I got very excited. There was that Spiker C8 that showed up, and that was pretty cool. So apparently that guy already used our towels, so right off the bat, good impression, very good impression. So I'll keep checking in the comments here as you guys pop in, but in the meantime, I am going to continue sharing this out. So give me a few minutes, and I'll just kind of bounce between angles for you guys. Okay, hang on.
Those hands and lights can't stop me. I'll just hold on for dear life. Yeah, I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky. When I'm with you, when I'm with you, high. And lights can't stop me. I'll just hold on for dear life. Yeah, I can't give up this feeling that I get when looking down from the sky. When you move like that, and you keep me waiting, you know I fall too fast, and my heart's still aching, and I'm still chasing, but I see it fading now. I'm drowning in such heavy water,
I dive in, that's when I lost her. Her voice in my head keeps getting softer. That's when my heart stops, so call the dog. Think I'm feeling reckless, don't care if I'm jealous. Baby, I can't help it, fuck, I'm being selfish. Think I'm feeling reckless, don't care if I'm jealous. Baby, I can't help it, fuck, I'm being selfish. When you talk like that, and you keep on saying we'll just fall apart, so keep on praying, you'll keep on praying, that you'll keep on staying now, yeah. I'm drowning in such heavy water, I dive in, that's when I lost her. Her voice in my head keeps getting softer, it's when my heart stops, so call the dog. Think I'm feeling reckless, don't care if I'm jealous. Baby, I can't help it, fuck, I'm being selfish. Think I'm feeling reckless, don't care if I'm jealous. Baby, I can't help it, fuck, I'm being selfish.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change, and I feel that you mean it. You mean it.
All right. Check, check, mic check. Taking off my headphones because I hear my voice twice. Kind of crazy. All right, let's kick it over to the main cam here. Get the dual screen. All right, there we are. Jimmy and I hanging out. And what's going on, Jimmy? How do you like the setup here?
It's cool. I wish we could show them.
I know. I wish we could
inside.
show them too. So yeah, that was one of the things that I asked a lot of questions, right? Because I wanted to see just how much I could push on taking pictures and stuff. And it sounds like most of the cars, it feels like they're okay with on like the lower level, but then things get more
They get
touchy
progressively nicer
as you go up.
The higher you go up.
And on that third floor, there are definitely some cars that, yeah, it's one of the few places you'll see them, so I get it.
Yep.
But on the other hand, kind of a bummer. So anyway,
Did
we're
you
out here.
ride the car elevator?
I didn't ride the car elevator. I took the stairs like a chump.
Okay.
So I guess you did.
I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
I watched people ride it.
Oh,
Anthony
they
was
just
one of them.
They just treat it like it was a fair ride or something.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of walking.
Okay,
I'd rather
okay.
just,
I get you. Well, anyway, you've been getting B-roll at just different cars and stuff around here.
Yeah, got B-roll. Well, some cars, the outside cars.
Yeah.
And just the vendors and stuff like that. And just talking to people, saying hi.
Of course. And it seems like it's coming in waves. So we've had some people coming earlier. We had like a dozen earlier, and they're all hanging out.
Yep.
Including a few people that had some very nice cars, and they kind of came and left, and we chatted. They got what they wanted out of it, and then they were on their way. But I'm guessing it's going to be like that all day. So it's not like we're going to have one big crowd and they all stay here at once. It's not that kind of show.
What did the email say? Like what time from what time?
I think they were saying basically like, I think it was 10 to 2.
10 to 2, okay.
Because it's like 11:30 right now. So yeah, we've had a couple waves.
Yeah, there's still time for some people to swing on by and say hi. So.
And of course, being a holiday weekend, I'm not expecting a ton, but at the same time, like The
Yeah,
people I
that's-
have met so far have been good.
Yeah, that's the only unfortunate part about this timing is I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
One
no.
of
So
the
there's
things
definitely
there.
folks who are just like looking to do the holiday thing, and
Yep.
they're good. They don't need anything
They're off
else.
somewhere
but
in the mountains, like 2 hours away, where we used to be.
yeah.
We switched places with them at the beginning of the week.
Ragnar Rules says Hagerty's Chamber of Secrets.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, the weather has been glorious. It's been very nice,
It has
with the
been.
exception of that one day driving down from northern New York
Yeah.
down.
I'm a big fan
Nasty
of
rain.
mid 60 mornings and then
Yeah.
high 70 days.
Yeah.
It's like the good shit. Oh, I can't. Whoops, I didn't even try.
No, that's
But
good.
that's the good
But
stuff.
yeah, no, so far it's been all right, and I think we're gonna do some demos. We got Magnum over there. We got an Evo, Corvette Z8 Challenger, some BMWs, and basically further down the line there's a car show. I haven't really taken the camera over there, but I do have the camera over here on this sweet truck from Swag Rides. Those guys are really nice, and
Oh, the New York bugs are.
oh yeah, you're also getting the bugs in your face. Hey everybody, nice to see you. Love meeting Levi and Anthony yesterday. Glad you got to meet him, Barry. And yeah, no, glad to just see everybody here. Whoa, new video just dropped on the main channel. That's right, Ragnar Rules. We got stuff coming out.
Yep.
And as far as the shade running out, because the sun's moving its way over
It's
the
starting to
building,
creep onto us, yeah.
I think my camera over there is starting to bake a little bit, but everything else should be okay. If I switch angles, let's take a look. If I pop it over to the mobile cam, that's what we see. It looks okay on frame.
Yeah.
Like it looks fine. But
It is gonna get very hot, Dane. I'm
it's going to get pretty warm.
concerned for your phone's health. But
Yeah. You mind grabbing that actually and just bringing it over this way? We can point it over to the car show. Wow. Live Jimmy Cam, guys. Here we go. I'm going to pick it up and walk it. Don't get too dizzy, guys. So while he's doing that, see, there he goes. He's gonna pop it over here. Let's see how things look over this way. Oh, okay. Got a few over here. All right, so he's getting that set up. Anyway, I was going to be interviewing a few people today. I was going to be bringing them in. I had Phil earlier, some other folks, but we'll see how that goes. I will report back when I have something to report. I'm not sure where Anthony is right now. Where is he? Okay, well, I think he's inside. So, anyway, guys, I don't have any demos or anything going on right now, so I'm just hanging out waiting for the action to start as far as the demos go, because we do have several booths set up. So we have basically an arrangement here with Diamond Protec across the way. You can see that tent over there. It's going to be a Diamond Protec install, probably on that Magnum you see, which, yeah, that thing looks pretty mean. And then, of course, I've got Koch over to my left and the Diamond Protec booth, as well as a bunch of Dunkin' Donuts were provided today. And we've got the Hagerty entrance here. So basically, today's show was going to be interesting anyway. We essentially thought it was going to be something a little bit different because it's not the normal detailing crowd. It's definitely more of the, just car enthusiast crowd, which, hey, I'm into. But as far as, that audience goes, maybe not as likely to have all the detailing gear, that kind of thing, which opens up possibilities, opens up opportunities, but isn't necessarily a guarantee. So as far as people turning out for that kind of thing, the audiences are a little different, but of course there's overlap. So we're just, hanging out. It's a beautiful day, and with any luck, things will pick up here as the afternoon proceeds. Still early in the morning here, relatively, so we'll give it a chance. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and kick on the music. We'll just kick it over to the frame, and I'll walk that camera around and see if I can't get some interesting vantage points for you guys. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in a minute.
Yeah, somewhere deep inside of you, I know you want me to. You're just afraid to say real love. Now I see you, and I'll make it through to find.
So what are you guys up to this afternoon anyway? Figured I'd ask you since you're hanging around. And plus, I'm still waiting for some more cars to show up because earlier was actually more active than it is now. So hopefully we can remedy that relatively soon. But in the meantime, I mean, if you guys want to throw questions out here, you got detailing stuff you want to know, let me know. Pop them in the comments, and I'm also going to see how far I can take that mobile camera I've got set up over there. See if I can get it over to the wash bay back there. Because I saw that they were actually doing some polishing and stuff, so that might be more interesting to watch rather than me just sitting here. But yeah, to each their own. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get that. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me. You should go check out on the main Rag Company channel, you know, while you're waiting for this stuff to build up. By all means, this will continue streaming until the end of the show today, so don't worry about that. You can always come back. But I would recommend you go and check out the Satisfying Saturday, the Not a Satisfying Saturday that is a Satisfying Saturday, but not quite, but you'll get it over on the main Rag Company channel. Highly recommend going and checking that out. I think you'll find it satisfying anyway, and it's something special for Memorial Day. So take a little time, go check that out, and yeah, enjoy. And then when you're done, come back and let me know what you think. But before you do that, make sure you click like on this video. Then when you head over there, click like on that one. Once again, YouTube, the algorithm is just, it's a rough place, man. So if you can hit that button, it really does help us out. And, you know, that way we can continue bringing you fun lives from the things we do, just hangout sessions, and of course live demos, all that important stuff we do back at home in the studio. And then of course there's the content, all of the helpful videos we produce, all of the, you know, tutorials, the explainer videos, all that stuff that you want to know about the products, etc. That's how that stuff happens. So keep hitting like on the videos, even if you're just, you know, passing through. It really does help. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and kick the music back up and let me see how far I can take that that mobile camera. We'll give it a shot. Anyway, I'm out for a second, but I'll be right back in just a few. So hang in there, guys. All right, as you can see, not as dead as it seemed before. Turns out everybody was just inside. So, unfortunately, I can't really film too far in there, but I think it'll be okay as long as I'm just kind of hanging out on the periphery here. So in the meantime, we got that camera angle set up. I hope you guys can enjoy this. And I'll set up the mic on that camera, and hopefully nobody says anything dumb. Hey Jimmy, tell the fine folks at home about Rag Company products since you know so much.
Very soft.
Okay. It's a good
very
start.
Premium, right?
Premium, yes.
Yep.
Yep. That's what we're known for.
Yeah, and they're approved by detailers.
I mean, that's what's important.
That's what's
so,
important.
yeah.
That's
No,
what
I think you got it nailed.
Yep.
You're good.
Now, if we're talking chemicals,
Well,
a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
No. People got all kinds of opinions about
as far as
chemicals.
towels go, though, Dane, I think that is your car getting delivered to you in New York. It actually is. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Well,
Dane, how does it feel
I mean,
to have
there
the
goes-
type of car that can get put in one of these facilities?
buy F-Type.
I think his looks really mean for those.
Oh, don't.
It's literally stock.
I was asking Dane how he feels about having a car of that caliber that could be put in one of these facilities. How he feels about owning one.
I mean,
It's pretty impressive.
it's pretty impressive. Maybe it'll sound nice when he takes
I
off
hope
here.
so, actually. Because I've never seen or heard that car of yours ever get driven like super hard.
Oh, I drove it hard when I took the Loman Loop for sure.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying like out of work or anything. Like,
Oh,
we don't
yeah,
get the
yeah.
exhaust, obviously.
Yeah, no.
Did he-
It's for a stock exhaust. It's very late. He must have left the valve closed. Wow.
How unfortunate.
Too chill. Way too chill.
This is why.
All right. Well, seeing as I'm live, I'm going to take a look at the comments and see what we got people saying, because there were a few earlier. All right. People saying they got the headphones in, they're chilling, throw a few extra hours in at work. People doing yard work. Nice Challenger. ATRC, some well-kept secrets inside ES. So, yeah, we got a few folks over there.
Yeah.
The cheese and wine crowd, says one. But anyway, that's what's going on over here. So let me kick it over to the mobile. Okay, we got some stuff going on there. That looks nice. Yeah, so we're doing a thing. And it still gets a decent signal, so I'm pretty happy with that. But, yeah. This is just the way we're doing things. Alright, let me check that music. Berto, that's a good question. I don't know who's going to get foamed first today, but there is always that possibility that someone is getting foamed before they go home. Just saying, it's a very real possibility. Alright, so while we're chilling here, let me go see if I can grab Phil, and I'll sit him down, and we'll have ourselves a little interview. You know, just something nice. So hang in there. I am going to go grab him. BRB. Boom, just like that. I've got you on the mic. Let me dial back the music a little bit here. It's looking good. Okay. So, anyway, it's just us. And we're just going to hang out and have a little chat. Talk about your history and detailing, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a few things you can talk about here.
Oh, absolutely,
So,
yes.
I mean, first of all, to the fine folks at home, you want to introduce yourself.
Hi.
Just let them know your name, your business, where you're located, all that good stuff.
Okay, I'm Phil Pinkney. My company is It's About the Details, located in Peekskill, New York. My phone number is 914-299-4213.
Sweet. And so I got to ask first things first, how'd you get into detailing? What was the core starting moment? What led you that way?
The core starting moment was cleaning my own car. I did a lot of car shows, and I have an 82 Olds Cutlass Supreme.
Nice.
I've had since brand new. And I started cleaning my cars. I started using, back in the day, the old Somonix wax, where you put it on, and if you didn't wipe it off, you had to use a chisel to get the wax off the
Right.
car.
Yeah.
We had the old, the towels, oh man, those not even microfiber towels. The old white
They were
towel.
like, you had chamois,
Yeah, you
right?
had the
But then you
chamois.
also had like baby diaper type things.
Yes, they
you
were
also
awful.
had,
They
people
were awful.
people
Yeah.
seem to not really care for those.
No, they didn't.
not
And,
really a favorite.
That was really good.
Yeah.
So I eventually started doing a few of my neighbors' cars.
Okay.
Um,
Not their towels.
Not the type of cars. So I started doing their cars. So I was originally an engineer, and I retired in 2015.
Okay.
So I had to think of something to do in between that time. So what I did is that let me start a company, do detailing. So I started at my house, did my neighbors' cars. They came out pretty good. So then I started getting a couple of the car show guys doing their cars coming at my house.
Right.
So then I got a garage. Opened up the garage. I have a nice sized garage. It's behind the private house. So with that, I do polishing, I do paint correction, I do full washes, interior, and ceramic coatings. So that started me out, so which is good. Then I met up with a couple other guys, product guys, then did a couple of classes with Rupes. Those classes, amazing. They came here to New Jersey to Details Domain, to Phil's Details Domain.
Yeah.
I learned from them. I also went to Boston with Tyler Cucci, and I did classes with
okay.
him, which was amazing. Learned from that, sanding and polishing, went a long way. Then the highlights came in.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, it was amazing. Just started working on a brand new Corvette. So I started working with the Westchester Corvette crew. Those Corvettes, of course, those guys are very picky.
Sure.
So,
Of course. As Corvette guys tend to be. They know what they like and they don't like anything else.
Oh, of course. So you had to make sure their cars were amazing.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. Again, I did some classes with Phil at Details Domain. He taught me the do's and don'ts of cleaning cars and also what to look for.
Okay. Yeah.
You also, with these customers, you also, when you're filling them out, they always ask you for a price. Don't give them a price. What you
Right.
want to do is ask them the right questions. What in particular are you looking to have done to your car? Because you always get the big wide open space where it's just,
Yeah.
I want the car clean and interior vacuum. But they don't tell you, they want those door jambs done.
Yeah.
You want the windows perfect.
People make a lot of assumptions, and you're left somehow to be a mind reader to figure out what they meant when
Right.
just ask.
Yeah, you ask.
just get the answer. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you're a beginning detailer, you might want to bring a sheet with you
For
and
real.
go down the list with them and even walk around the car, which is even good, and point out certain things that you might suggest to them.
Yeah.
So you might be able to upsell them,
Oh,
which
that's
is a
real.
good thing. It's real. So here I am, it's 2023, and I'm still moving strong. I feel really good about it. So
That's good.
It's amazing.
So it hasn't driven you into the ground yet. You're not bummed out. There's nothing.
No, not
Okay,
at all.
cool.
I'm just having more and more fun because
Oh,
I'm my
okay.
own man in my own company.
I mean,
This
that
is
does feel
mine.
good. That feels good to have something that's yours. You're the boss,
Mm-hmm.
so you're the only one to blame if something goes right, or praise if something goes
Right,
well.
right.
Blame if it goes wrong. Praise if it goes right. I got it backwards. Anyway,
Yes.
just flowing here. But I think it's really interesting as far as detailers, how many different paths they can take, ultimately arriving at the point where I do this perhaps for my own mental health or
Yes.
perhaps for relaxation and the mental health angle, or because it's a way for me to better myself, get a skill set, do something that I can expand on. Because the universe in detailing is actually, it's a small world, but it's pretty big once you get the hang of it. You can do some pretty interesting stuff with paints, with ceramics, with all kinds of stuff.
Right,
But
with it, and we would
you're not,
say
you're
like
not
in
as
the last
limited.
15 years, in
You're
the
not
last
just
15
cleaning.
years, it's come such a long way because we used to have just the rotary machines back
Yeah.
in the day doing polishing. We also had that little two-step polish.
Oh my God, that thing!
That was amazing.
What was it, the gem, the huge,
Yes.
heavy one? That
And
crazy
you put it
thing.
on the car, and I'm getting the paint off with the terry cloth.
Yeah.
I'm getting the polish
Nasty.
off. You know?
Just not
And
good.
then we really graduated to the different machines now. You get the DA polishers.
Yeah.
You get the different sizes now. Before
Right.
you only had like the one main size.
Yeah.
They get different sizes that fit the cars. The cars are amazing right now. You've got European all the way to the standard classic cars and your regular
Right.
daily drivers. So I treat every car the same. I don't treat an older car or a special car different than I would do a daily driver.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so that's my niche. That I
Gotcha.
treat everything the same. I look at paint the same. I don't think that it's different from anybody else's paint. I'm going to look at it the same.
Okay. So, what's your process going in? Since you do treat it all the same, say you walk up to a car before you do any work. Like, what's your evaluation process look like?
My evaluation process, I go through the car, I go around the car, I start from the top. I actually look at the roof of the car and
Okay.
I work my way down.
Because protection tends to go first at the top.
Right,
Yeah.
right, because you want to clean it from the top and you're usually going to work your way down. I look at the wheels. I look how bad the wheels are. Can those be saved? Because sometimes those wheels cannot be saved.
Yeah.
So we have to set expectations for the customer. Don't over extend yourself because the customer's going to do, they're going to say, well, you missed this, you did this. It's not what I wanted.
Right.
all
Right.
So if you underextend it and make it even better, it's even better for you. So
Yeah.
that's one thing.
I can appreciate that. So, so that's your kind of your process. As far as any interesting, whoa, we got a whole
The
booth going
wind is
down over.
going.
That's nuts. Yeehaw.
The sides are falling.
Don't mind us. I just, there you can see over on the side here. But more importantly, us. We're talking here.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
as far as that goes, we got your process down. We got the beginning. But I am curious, what are some highlights, some things that have stuck out to you over the years, things that you kind of look back and you go, man, that felt like a turning point, or that felt like a epiphany or some kind of growth period, something that you can point to pretty directly and say, yeah, that did something.
What did it for me was compressed air.
Really? Okay, interesting.
Compressed air did it for me.
Big tank, little tank?
The big tank
Okay.
and with the guns.
Gotcha.
That did worlds for me in the interior and also for the drying process of the car.
Okay. So you're talking like a little vortex generator gun, that kind of stuff, or?
Yeah, full hose.
Okay, full hose.
compressor and
Gotcha.
55-gallon compressor.
Okay.
Full
Okay.
on. I can get the dirt out, and that actually my starting process. Once I started that, it was a game changer.
Okay.
And also the LED lights in the shop.
That's a big one.
That's big change because you don't have to bring the car out and say, oh, the car is still dirty. Now you
Right.
can look at it inside, and also you have your little scan lights
Yeah. They'll know.
to look in the car. Those help immaculately. So
They do.
with that turning point, my interiors came out a lot better. My paint came out a lot better, and my paint correction came out a lot better.
Okay.
I could see a lot better. That was a turning point. Lights and compressed air for me.
Okay.
That was like, wow.
So that stuff really stuck out. I mean, it's nice because it's something that's not outlandish. It's not out of reach to most people. I think it might be slept on in some cases where people are just, maybe you're a mobile guy and you need to work out some kind of solution for compressed air, like a battery powered compressor or something.
That would work, yeah.
Is there like a, so in your case, are you shop based or mobile?
I'm shop based.
Okay, so you got a
I
shop.
do go out every once in a while to do customers' cars at their house. But of course, me being a garage guy, if you go mobile, what do you do when you go mobile? You forget something.
Yeah. So in your case, so are you one-man operation?
I'm a
Do you have
one-man
a hand?
operation.
Okay.
I'm a
So when
one-man
you leave
operation.
the shop, the mobile thing is the only thing happening. That's what you're
That's
doing.
it.
That's
yeah.
the focus.
That's for the
Okay.
day. I'm doing that, and then I'm bringing
Gotcha.
everything back, clean up, and get ready for the next day.
Gotcha. So I suppose that brings a question next. How's your scheduling work? If that's something that you're facing, logistics, all that.
Logistics, yeah. I daily get either requests by text,
Okay.
appointments on Facebook, and on Instagram, and then I set my scheduling up according to that.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is base my detailing. If it's just a regular wash, I'm just going to give you a baseline of maybe like a 3 to 4 hour window.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to get your car outside for you to pick up. I do also offer drop-off and pickup service.
Okay.
So that was another thing that I incorporated in there. So that actually makes your day a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but it's more for the customer.
Right. Well, and
the
it means you
convenience
can
of it.
still use your shop too.
Right.
So
It's more
that
convenience.
part's nice for you too.
Yes, more the convenience. I love
yeah.
that.
So when you go mobile, is it more you're working the street or driveway, or do they let you into the garage? Like, how's that work? Like, what's the typical
In
customer
driveways,
like
I'm doing
here?
all
Okay,
driveways.
Gotcha. Access to water,
They
power,
give me water,
air.
water and powder. I bring
Okay.
everything else.
Okay,
Everything
you
else
got
I
it
bring.
all.
I got the power washer, electric power washer, no gas,
Gotcha.
less noise.
Well, yeah, and you don't have to haul a bunch of gas around that
Yeah,
way
that's
either.
easy,
So, yeah, that's
That's a beautiful
preferable.
thing. And I will actually bring compressed air with me also.
Oh, okay, nice.
That
So
helps me
there's
out.
a tank on
There's
board.
a tank, yeah.
Okay.
So we
Well,
use
cool. Yeah, no, that definitely answers a lot. The reason I'm asking all these kind of like little things is because there's so many different approaches to it. I realize people are like, well, you're kind of doing the same thing everywhere you go. Yeah, but everybody has their personal taste. There's a million different products out there that can do similar things.
Right.
But speaking of which, do you have any standout products that you're like, oh, that's the thing for me? When it comes to your tools, towels, for chemicals, any stuff like that.
Well, anything that the Rag Company towels are the most amazing towels.
I mean, I didn't say he said it. I didn't say
said
anything.
it.
Yeah.
But they're the most amazing towels. The drying towels are amazing. The polishing removal residue towels, those are amazing also. I've tried the old cheapo towels from unknown sources. They leave residue behind, so then you're chasing yourself. This
Yeah.
you can actually pull it all up. The microfiber wash
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
is another game changer because you can clean the towels with that.
Right.
Oh my God! I was using detergents. I was using the Free and Clear.
And
Sorry,
that's what we always recommended to people before that, because people are like, oh, there's other detergents on the market. How come you guys, you're the Rag Company, why haven't you done something? I mean, even if you just relabel something, it's like, we don't want to just relabel something
Yeah.
that's already there. Like, if we did something, we want it to be better than what's already out there, and it has to have a purpose, something you really point to and go, that's what makes that different. Unfortunately, with P&S being a chemical supplier, we talked to them about it because we thought, okay, maybe there's a possibility there that, with the amount of bead maker people use and stuff like that, sealants, that sort of thing, what if we could get a detergent that could remove specifically the more modern sealants, that kind of stuff? Because the best, towel, detergents on the market prior to Rags to Riches were mostly geared towards waxes, things that were weaker. I mean, yes, they were protective agents, but when it breaks it down, it's not the same as the stuff we're dealing with today. I mean, the protective stuff they're putting on their cars today is a lot stronger. Even in a simple spray, some of those things are getting 6 months to a year now. So it's not unheard of, and you have to imagine that stuff does not come out of a towel willingly.
No. And of course,
So-
the towels themselves are not. They think it's just fibers, but it's also different plastics that they use.
Yeah.
So you got to treat that differently. You have to treat the cleaning agents of that differently. So the microfiber wash, amazing. That is another game changer for me.
Okay. No, I hear you loud and clear, and I agree wholeheartedly. Absolutely agree. No, that's a big one. So, I mean, you've enjoyed your time here. Has there been anywhere else besides here that you've done detailing? Has it all been focused here? You built up kind of a network that you work here?
Yeah, I built up a network here in the northern Westchester area.
Okay.
That's where most of my customers, I get customers also, I get it from, that will come up from different states if they're in the area. And they say, Phil, I'm coming to New York. I want you to do my car before I go back down.
Okay.
Or
Nice. They got a plan of action. in
Right, because I
place.
get people coming from Florida.
Yeah.
Of course, it's bug laden.
Okay, I get you. Yeah.
From Georgia, I've gotten some people from Kentucky, and I've gotten some people from California that came up to see me.
Nice.
Of course, I get people from.
I was like,
the surrounding area.
California is
Yes.
literally as far as you can get from here, short of Hawaii or
Oh
something.
my gosh.
Or
And the
Alaska.
car is destroyed, so
Oh,
let me have the car
yeah.
for 2 days, and I'll make it look much better.
Like a cross-country road trip or something?
Yes.
Or, oh, okay.
Yeah, we come
Okay.
to visit family.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So they had like a 2-week vacation, so they came up and visit. And that was one of the amazing parts. And I took pictures of that. I was like, wow.
Okay, well that's special then. Yeah.
I can't show the plates on there, but I was
sure.
like, whoa.
It's like, oh boy, okay.
Yeah.
No, okay, so beyond that, another thing, because every detailing situation is different, in your case, is it more of, I'm not going to say quantity or quality, but in terms of like clientele, do you steer more towards I'll forgo having too many people on the back order list and I'll just focus on maybe a handful that I know are going to be good jobs that I can reliably do? Or is it more of a, okay, we got this one, got this one, got this one? Because I know some shops, it's like, there's no shame in that. Like, there's definitely a time and a place for it, but it sounds like what you do is more focused, a little more...
Well, I have my regular customers.
Yeah,
that
okay.
I know that I'll get on a weekly basis that
Okay.
I know they're coming in. My new customers, I fit in between those customers.
Okay.
So that's how I get my customer base.
Gotcha.
And a lot of my work is also not also by advertising. Of course, I go out to different shows and advertise.
Yeah.
But word of mouth helps. Because if your word of mouth is not good, they're not going to call you.
I mean, that's a
obvious.
pretty solid reason right there. Knowing that, another aspect here, just figuring out you fit new customers in. What percentage of your customer base is new, like in a given month?
Maybe 25 to 30%.
Wow. Okay, that high.
Yes.
Okay. So so you're not just on the regular rotation. You're bringing in new fresh
bringing
blood
in
all the time.
fresh
So
blood all
yeah.
the time.
Okay.
And sometimes, even with the new customers, they might say, "Hey, I might have a block of 5." that I
Okay,
might have
so
to.
they already have other people that they
Right.
want to.
They wanna bring in, so they-
or other cars. Maybe they got multiple or something.
Right.
that-
They'll have people that, okay, I want to find a detail, and they'll have me as a test dummy.
Okay.
Let's see if I do the first car right.
Right.
And then I get those cars coming in.
There's a lot of people like that. They're ready to judge so hard, and then when it finally happens, they go, "Okay, I can stop. I can unclench now. We can just, all right, this guy's it. Let's just go to him."
Yeah.
But okay, well that's cool. So, anything else you want to plug through out there to the folks who are watching, listening right now? I know they're interested because some are at-home detailers, some
Right.
are guys in shops. If you guys have any questions for them, by all means, throw them in here.
Yeah.
I know I'm seeing lights make a huge difference, says Glenn. If you can't see it, you can't correct it.
Yes.
Agreed. Compressed air cuts so much time on interior. Actually,
gosh.
yeah, that's a big thing. So you were talking about air. Obviously, you're focusing most of your air on the interior, not so much exterior stuff.
exterior too.
Or you too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where are you using it on the exterior?
Actually, grills. I use it in grills. I use it in the wheel wells.
Okay, that makes sense.
In the wheels itself, I actually dry the wheels with the compressed air.
Okay, I'm
and
used to. I'm used to where we are. They just take out the leaf blower and they start doing that. If it's not a towel, it's a leaf blower. But the compressed air, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In the mirrors. You
Yeah.
blow behind the mirrors.
It's
'cause
those
what they do-
stupid little gaps, the tiniest little area, but somehow there's a whole waterfall hiding back
Oh,
there.
yeah.
This is
'Cause
waiting
as
to
soon as
come
they drive
out.
off, you see the
Yeah.
right on their doors, and I hate
Totally.
that.
It sucks. But definitely understand that. So, okay, that raises another question. Pet peeves detailing. What's like the stuff that just drives you nuts? Whether it's something that maybe you find most cars, the owners have done something that just annoys you, or maybe there's, a particular vehicle that kind of gets on your nerves whenever you run into it because there's a
Gum
trend.
in the carpet.
Gum in the carpet. Oh, yeah, that's not good. How do you? Okay, what do you do for that? Is it a chemical solution? Is it
I use steam.
heat
I
or
use steam.
okay, steam?
I use a steamer
okay.
to get it out. It's the easiest thing to use.
Gotcha.
A steamer, rub it, get it out. and
So,
grab it.
generally speaking, how much damage is done to a carpet trying to get that stuff out of there?
If you use it without a steamer, you're going to damage the carpet. Just pulling
Okay.
all the fibers out. You
just
might even
beating it
use a
up.
gap. Steamer, it'll actually release that
Right. okay.
plastic, and then you'll just pull it right out eventually.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely better, but
Way better.
that sucks.
Yeah. And also the I guess all details have their own little pet peeve.
Of course,
I guess,
that's why I'm asking, because I'm like, I want to hear so people can either relate to it or go, I never thought of that, but now that's going to bug me,
yeah.
something.
That, and also when people refuse to take their trash out the car.
Oh,
so you get in the
okay.
car and you can't sit in the car because there's trash everywhere.
I've been in some cars where I thought the person was like a very organized person. They gave the impression like, oh yeah, you run a tight ship or whatever. Like I'm lackadaisical about that stuff, but I keep my car clean. Like that part's keep it clean. Like don't put a bunch of stuff in there you don't need. But man, I've been in some mobile trash cans for real.
Yes.
It's crazy, and it's like, how do you just live like this? Is it just something you thought about and you looked at and you went, yeah, nah, tomorrow, and it just kept piling up. Tomorrow. or was it like, what was it that led
Don't
somebody
you smell
to
that
just
bologna
do
sandwich from last week?
it? Yeah, I was saying my dad had to think banana peels. There was always a banana peel in the car. He always knew it was his because it's like that's from 2 days ago. It's not even that old, but I know it was yours. He'll throw it out eventually, but it's just a cycle. It's very predictable. So there's definitely that. But I'm seeing some more comments here. Oh, cheap carpet material is terrible.
Yes.
We've got, mentioning steam. I use the bottle compressed air for computers upside down and get the gum frozen, and then it's easier to remove. Okay,
Yes.
freezing is
Put
interesting.
you in the freezer, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, good point.
That's an interesting
Great point,
one.
yes.
Yeah, and then Joel Details has said for years, steam removes adhesive, gum, any stick stuff, right? Yeah.
Right.
So it's gum, anything related to gum, taffy, whatever. What's the weirdest thing you've had to pull out of a car? I mean, just you're going
weirdest
through
thing
and
is,
it's like, oh boy, how'd this wind up here?
A personal item.
Personal
I'm
effects.
not going to
Yeah,
mention
exactly.
nothing else.
Just personal
items.
Enough said.
That shocked me.
Okay, yeah.
And also, the other thing you have to be aware of, in cleaning cars, you got to be aware of medical needles.
Yes.
That
I've heard some
is-
horror stories for sure.
I never encountered any where I got punctured, but I've encountered needles in the carpet.
So are you wearing gloves when you're
I always
going
wear
in an
gloves.
interior? Okay. I'm asking that because should be, but I know there's some folks out there who are just like, whatever, I'll deal with it. It's like, if you don't know the person, you don't know the car. Even if you do know the person, you should still
do it.
Just
And
in case.
I've been using gloves for a matter of like 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
When COVID hit,
Yeah.
I actually got Tyvek suits, even though they were hot as all.
Oh yeah.
I've
that's-
gotten the one-time Tyvek suit. I've gotten also the heavy-duty Tyvek suit.
Okay. Yeah.
And full mask, booties, head wrap when it was happening. So
Okay,
my
the
company
whole
was still
thing.
running when COVID was going on.
Oh.
I shut
okay.
down for 2 months and actually watched a lot of stuff on the IDA.
Okay,
And-
so yeah,
and
you're
they talked
catching
about
up on that.
how to protect yourself and
That makes
what you
sense.
look for. So that's how I prepare myself. So even when the customers picked up the car, I was actually in new booties and new gloves, and I had a plastic cover on their seat. So when I delivered the car to them, they saw that, okay, this guy is good. So I actually got return customers that way. So they know that, okay, their car's coming out clean. Because a lot of people
Yeah.
didn't want to get their cars clean.
Right. Yeah. People were paranoid, especially before anybody knew anything concrete.
Right.
It was a real guessing game as to, is it contagious? Is it not? What's the limit? Where's the line? Yeah.
Right. So I was actually in my interior tiles because I was so nervous. Every interior tile that I used actually went in the garbage. I did
Okay.
not recycle those things because I was so nervous. I didn't know if I was going to be able to clean it all up.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to carry something from one car to another car and then be responsible for whatever happened. I mean, even if it didn't happen, but the chance of it is enough to make you go, yeah, I don't want to be on the hook for that.
Yes.
Morally or ethically or any of that.
Oh,
So,
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I totally understand that angle. So, okay, so let's see here. Other than the things we've already talked about, what was like a big challenge that you came across during your development as a detailer that maybe took some more effort to kind of get over, something that, maybe you put a dampener on it initially, but you found a way through it or over it or something like that? Or was there one? Maybe there wasn't, because some people...
There was this one particular stain, actually stain and smoke removal.
Smoke removal, okay.
That's where I had an Achilles heel at one time. I didn't want to use, because I knew when they smoke, a lot of the smoke goes up into the headliner.
Right.
So the headliner is your game changer. And I didn't realize that before, that I was just cleaning the bottom of the car and did not clean the headliner.
Right.
That, I grew so much once I learned how to clean that headliner.
Yeah.
And it was like so much better. Even now, when you're doing a customer's car, I still give it a wipe in the top to make sure there's no stains up there. Which is
Okay,
great.
yeah.
That was a real game changer right there also. Wow, I'm just thinking of,
Yeah.
now that we keep talking, you keep
No, of
thinking
course.
of certain things that
Hey,
happen.
You keep giving me new ideas, so I'm just rolling with it. As long as you're cool talking, we'll
yeah.
just keep going. But, I mean, yeah, so that was one that I was curious about. Another one that comes to mind is A lot of people initially are intimidated by paint correction at any level. Something. What made you want to take the leap? Initially, somebody's usually just cleaning a car, the basic wash, that kind of thing, and then they feel like they got to step up to, okay, now I'm gonna polish something. Maybe I'm comfortable doing that. What was the first car you ever polished?
First car I ever polished was my own. Of
Okay.
course. You polish your own car.
Maybe start with yours first.
I started
That
my
makes
own.
sense.
I polished my own. I had, like I said, I got an 82 Olds custom Oldsmobile.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a sage green. I can still see the swirls in it, and I can see swirls in everybody else's cars you walk by. It's something crazy.
Original paint or
Original.
repaint? Okay.
Original
okay.
paint. So I was using that, of course, that little 6-inch polisher that you buy at
Yeah,
the auto
yeah,
zone
yeah.
store. But I wanted something a little bit more stronger.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I started watching YouTube videos, seeing, okay, what can we use? So then we saw the porta cable
Right.
polisher.
Yep.
I started using that polisher. I was like, okay, this is good, but I needed something more. Like
Yeah.
you just want to have like a little bit more power.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stumbled on Rupes. And then Larry at Ammo
Okay.
was using Rupes.
What year would this have been? Thereabouts.
2012, 2013.
2012, 2013. Yeah, that's right when Rupes was starting to kind of become visible in the States here. So
Right, yeah.
yeah.
So
For the
that's
DAs at least.
For the
yeah.
DAs, yeah. And I was just like, I needed something. So a friend of mine had a body shop. So what I got was a hood from him. He says, take it to the backyard.
Yeah.
I would take that, use different polishes and compounds and different pads, and see how I can work it, what my burn through is on a lot of paint. I didn't have the paint depth meter yet.
Right.
But I was just doing it by eye. And this is even before I even had the lights on it. So I was doing it like in my driveway, polishing the car. I was like, wow, this really looks nice. But hey, I still see a mark.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to see a mark. That's the hard part. So actually, that raises the next question then. When you're looking at a car and you see the defects, are you doing an evaluation with the customer? Like, how much do I bother telling them about it? Is it even worth going into that?
I would set expectations.
You want to
for
walk
him.
through it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I walk through it because I'll say,
yeah.
okay, this car is the scratches right here. You see now they're through the clear.
Yeah.
We can go this far. I can use some sandpaper, and that's another class I took with Rupes. I did their sandpaper class. Their sanding
Oh, okay.
class.
So wet, dry sanding, that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
I did both.
Okay.
So I can do a test with them right there on the spot and see how far we can go. I do that with a
Okay.
customer.
Cool.
I'll wet sand it and do a quick evaluation on it.
Kind of
If-
like in a small space where it's not going to mess
No.
up anything if
No.
they're not interested, at least looking uneven or whatever.
But most of the time you get that out, and that actually brings them in.
Yeah.
That
No,
brings them in.
I think that's usually all it takes is just somebody, because they can't really picture it until you give them a nice 50-50. I know
Absolutely.
a lot of guys, at least on the media side, like myself doing videos and stuff, we kind of roll our eyes sometimes at 50-50s because we're like, man, everything we do is basically just turned into 50-50s all the time because
Right.
that's what works for somebody who doesn't have a detailer brain, but they need some sense of contrast. So
Right.
you show them that, and then they go, oh, I get it.
You get
Because if you're explaining to somebody who sees a shiny car that it's actually full of swirls and scratches and they should be embarrassed about it, like you don't want to make
you
them
don't wanna
feel
do
bad.
that.
You don't want to do that. But at the same time, you just want to educate them on, okay, this is what it looks like right now. Did you know it could look better? And I'm not trying to be a snake oil salesman here, but I'm telling you truthfully, there's a way to make this, what may look good to you, significantly better if just given the chance, the time, and an investment on your part. But I'll show you what it can look like, and you can be the judge of whether you want to do that or not. What's your conversion rate on that? How many people actually go, oh, okay? I mean, expense notwithstanding, just how many people are generally convinced by that, or how many people just reject it and go, nah, I'm not interested. It doesn't make a difference for me.
Maybe about 60% I can get.
Okay, so a little more than half.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Because you'll get, because most of the guys I do cars for, even some of the ladies, they don't like a dull looking car. So even if I'm not doing paint correction, I might do a quick polish.
Okay.
That actually brightens up their paint. They'll feel a lot happy. We don't have to go over the swirls.
Right. And do you talk to them about you did a polish, so it actually took it an extra
And actually
step
what I
further?
do is during the as I'm doing it, I'll actually send them a 50-50 text message with a photo of their car, and they'll say, wow, I never knew that. And then you can go to the next thing. Well, you might want to protect it and throw some ceramic coating on it, and you can upsell from there.
Basically, it looks like this, but it's only going to look like this today, unless
Right.
you lock it in, and then,
Yes.
well, next time you wash it, it'll look like it did today. So
Right.
that's the goal.
That's the goal.
So as far as protective products, what kind of stuff do you generally steer towards? Longer term stuff, shorter term with maybe a good finish? What
Well, it
appeals to
depends
you?
on the customer. It depends on the customer's money they want to spend.
Yeah.
That determines everything. Some customers, they say, hey, I don't want to spend too much on the protection. Okay, I can offer this protection for you, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Or I can offer you this long-term protection,
Yeah.
which will benefit you in the long run. Especially on cars that stay outside, you want a longer-term protection. Especially up here in the Northeast, you want
Yeah.
a longer-term protection. You don't want to like a 6-month coating or something like that. You
Right.
want something that's going to last and preserve their paint.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, weather, climate, all that stuff kind of dictate what's popular, what's not.
Right.
Okay, so barring that, I got to ask, because I ask every detailer because I have strong opinions one way or the other. Rinseless versus soap. Where do you fall on that line? You comfortable with both, or you
I do
prefer
both.
one over there? Okay,
I
yeah.
do both. In the winter, sometimes I use the rinseless, but summer, I'm always full buckets.
Yeah, so that
Full
doesn't
bucket.
bother you even when you're out mobile. It's just that's the way you do it.
That's the way I do it,
Okay,
yes.
cool. So that was one I was also interested in. Now let's see what else we got. So, what's something that I wouldn't think to ask, but you maybe have just been itching to tell? Something along those lines.
Me, myself,
Yeah.
treat every car as it's your own.
Okay.
That's
So-
that's the word.
Because
to live
that's
by.
how you started, and that's
Yeah.
how you'll continue.
I'll continue.
So,
Just treat every car like it's your own.
yeah, that's a good mantra.
And,
nothing wrong with that.
You want your customers to come back.
Right.
You don't want it a one-shot deal. You want them to come back.
Oh,
But also,
well.
you have to set expectations where there's going to be customers that you cannot offer the services that they're looking for
Right.
because their cars are not savable, I would say.
I was gonna. Okay, that raises my next question, which is, of the people who come to you saying, "Help me, my car is not looking as good as it could. I've heard detailing helps, but I don't know enough to know whether this is savable or not." What's the rejection rate on a lot of those? Like when somebody's truly clueless and they bring you something that's just like, "There's no way." How
It's
often
a
does that
low
happen?
percentage.
Okay,
Very
so it's
low.
not-
It's not
not
an
that
outrageous percentage, but it's
Okay.
There's some that because I had a guy that come to me. He had a Honda S2000, and he was calling me. He says, "I heard about you," and I was working on the car, and he was like nailing me. Okay, I got to come by. I said, "I got to evaluate the car. I'm right here in your area. Let me come by." I said, "All right,
Yeah.
come by." When he came by, when I say the car was not savable, the car needed a full repaint. I didn't want to insult the guy, but it needed a repaint.
Was
because
that the
it was-
paint was essentially missing, too low? What was
Well,
the
he,
issue?
he had a repaint on the car, but they painted it in somebody's garage. They got overspray in it, and the dirt was in the paint.
Oh no!
So it was
it's
not
just,
savable. So you had runs
Yeah.
all over the paint, and I couldn't save that.
What
And
color was the car?
Black.
Oh no!
So
okay.
it was even worse. And then
So it was
the-
very
yeah,
visible.
it was very
Every
bad.
imperfection.
And,
Yeah.
I couldn't offer him I could try to do the car, I try to save it, but like I said, I'm not one of those that's going to, hey, I'll just one-shot deal you. I want you
Right.
to come back. I want you to be happy. I want you to spread
Of
your
course.
word and say, hey, he did a great job. He tried his best with this car. And that's it.
Yeah. No, I think obviously based on what you've been describing to me, your customers must be very happy because you seem very reasonable. You're able to work with it, and you're good at communicating. So I
Yes.
appreciate that too. And obviously, the folks listening, I've got David here, boys, saying, Dane, your guest has such an Eric Dickerson, Rams Hall of Famer, excellent, definitely positive energy and confidence. So
Thank
he's
you.
giving you a
I
shout.
appreciate you. Thank
But yeah, something I always ask customers is about car seats. I always can wash them, but they're responsible for installing them back. Oh, okay. So pulling seats, I'm always kind of iffy on that, just because sometimes you have the
Yeah, it depends
one-time
on the-
bolts,
but
that kind of stuff.
The one-time
but it
bolts, and also
depends.
you have the sensors. It depends on which car.
Modern cars, definitely. There's
Like
a
the
lot more
BMWs.
sensors.
Those you not want to really go after because they have those certain sensors in the car that will trigger things off. So those you have to do the workaround.
Okay.
That's where your compressed air comes into play.
Yeah, that's a big one. So, okay, once again, give me new ideas on what to mention here. Okay, so modern versus old. You said you treat every car the same, but obviously there are going to be some differences as you get further in the process.
And it depends on what the customer wants.
Yeah, that too. Obviously,
If they
somebody
say I want my seats out of the car, on the older car, I'm going to give you the seats out of the car treatment. That's
on an older car, I find it's not as much of a deal breaker. It's mostly on the newer stuff where it becomes a concern. But yeah, on an older car, it's usually something where, okay, maybe somebody has like a race seat in there and they've already swapped it anyway. At that point, it's not too much of a lost cause. It's already been done.
Oh, and I'm quite sure your listeners, right?
Yeah.
These guys, you ever get a customer that gets in the car right away and the first thing they look for is in between the seat?
Oh, yeah. They're like, all right, let's see if all that crap's still in there. Oh,
that's the one thing they always look for, and that's the first thing I attack when I get in the interior. That's
smart man. So that's the plan of attack. The second you get in that car, you're like, I'm not waiting. I'm just going right here.
Right in there.
Oh, man. So I'm also curious, like, what your process. You were talking about headliners earlier. I find, old cars versus new cars. It seems like some old cars have pretty sensitive headliners. The adhesive just wants to let go, and everything starts falling. Yeah. You run into cars that have the headliner already going, and you're trying to clean around it.
I will not touch it.
So you let them know ahead of time. Yeah. Like, this is not working.
No, your headlights come down. I will let you know if you're like certain things. What I also do is like, if I see something on your car.
Yeah.
If you got a bubble in your tire, remember we're guys that helping them out to make sure they stay safe.
Well,
you got a bubble in your tire, let them know they got a bubble in their tire.
Yeah.
They got a bent rim, they got a scratch here, or your headlights are out, your tail lights are out.
Right.
Those certain things go a long way. And since I have compressed air, I'll fill up all your tires before you leave. So I'm making sure you're driving out.
It doesn't cost you anything, and it's an extremely helpful service for anybody. Like, I know the pressures were kind of off, let me even it out for you or something. Whatever. That's cool. That's really cool. So, I mean, as far as your attention to detail as a detailer for your customers, are there any kind of things that you kind of do as your signature move on a finishing touch for a detail? Is there something maybe you leave in the car, or is there something that you leave them with, maybe some advice, something like that?
I just leave them with a video. I'll make a video, a quick video of their car, and I'll send it to them after they get the car. So they'll know some of the process that I'll show, like before the seats, after the seats, like a quick, maybe a 50 to 1 minute video before and after, and I'll send that to them, and they're very happy, and they're like, "Wow, really?" And that goes a long way.
Well, and it really helps you out too, in turn, because then they understand, oh, this is what he had to do to make this happen.
Right.
And so the next time they come around with questions and stuff, you already know they can kind of appreciate the work you do. Because that is something hard about being a detailer. I see it all the time. It's just some people kind of feel like, I just feel like a glorified car washer. People don't really give me
but I don't get insulted when they
respect.
do that.
So it's like, don't get down on yourself. But at the same time, it's like, you know your worth, and you build on that. And if you run your business in a particular way, people will connect with
that.
They
will connect, and they will come back for you. And they will spread the word.
You're clearly doing that.
They will spread the word.
Well, I don't want to take all your time, but I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate the talk. I had a fun time, you guys. Keep up the good work. That's all I can say.
All right,
Peace
guys.
out, brothers.
Thanks. Thanks so much. You have a good one. All right, guys. Well, that was a great chat, was it not? And let's see, man. We got people walking around out here. Let me kick the angle over. There we go. Got some stuff going on. But as far as the cars coming and going, it seems like most people have been indoors this whole time. The sun's kind of starting to cook stuff that's out in it, but I'm still maintaining myself in the shade here. We'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, if you guys have more questions, feel free, throw them my way, and I will be happy to help answer them as best I can. If not, I will grab somebody who can. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and pop the music back up a little bit here, and we'll just let it play in the background. But yeah, hope you guys are having a good one, and I will report back when I have something to report. In the meantime, I'm going to go check out that mobile camera. Actually, let's take a look at it right now. Okay, so they're doing something on the Mini in the wash bay there. We'll go take a look at that. But yeah, in the meantime, I got Levi behind me. Hey, Levi, Actually, you know what? I'm bringing this music down. You're going to talk to me for a second
I'm
here.
eating a donut.
I know. Best time possible for you to come sit down and just chat for a second.
Not really.
Yep. You're in the shot now. Because you guys managed to dodge my recap last night, I'm making you guys do it now.
We were in bed asleep. You
I
came
know.
over an hour later.
Because
One hour later.
What I did was, instead of trying to set it all up in the
Knocks
room,
on the door at midnight.
I set it.
You guys want to do this?
It was 11:30.
No,
but I set
was
it up.
on the phone. I looked. And I was like,
I looked. It was 11:30 and then 11:40, and it did anyway. I was setting it all up in my room so I wouldn't have to do it when I got to here. I had it all set to go.
yeah. He knew we had to wake up at 5 a.m.
Well, then there's that. Yeah, it's a little tough. But that said, let's do a little catching up. What was going on yesterday?
Gooey.
What kind is that?
It's like a cream.
I need to
No,
get
it was
one of those.
yesterday was good. What do you need to know?
Well, I mean, you know,
What
for
if
the
people
folks
don't
at home.
know that's been happening?
Well, because I kind of did that continuous live stream, but I wasn't able to get some angles that I wanted to. So some of those demos, like what demos did you guys do
I did
yesterday?
a headlight demo. I did that was it.
That was it?
That was all I did. I talked to
Okay.
a lot of people though. Yesterday
Because
was,
you got fried in the sun.
yesterday was a great turnout. It was awesome. We did really good. We had a lot of great people come by, stop by. We've had we've had a lighter turnout today, but still,
Yeah.
a ton of people that have stopped by, said hello, got the sticker, came by, checked stuff out. People have been walking in, looking at the cars. This has been good so far. So
Yeah. Well, the people who've shown up have been really cool. But I was also going to say we ran into Scott last night. That was very nice.
yeah, we had a great night with
Always
Scott.
look forward to seeing him. But
was good.
yeah, no, it's been good. I'd say the weather's been treating us all right. But as far as the last day goes, this is on the quieter side, I would say.
Yeah. Fun fact,
Yeah.
Keith reminded me that he's riding back with us,
Oh, okay.
and then he's riding in the morning with all of us too.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a full car then.
So we've got a lot of people we're going to be toting back.
That's going to be very full car. So you guys are going to have to carry stuff in your laps. So now
Well,
we got a
then-
little
then we're
inside
gonna have to-
baseball.
then we're going to have to load all of our luggage as well in the car.
Oh, boy, and here's Keith
We're
to
going to
talk
have to get some
about
stuff
it.
on the roof, I think. We may have to make a stop at the store and get some tie downs.
Oh, boy.
Tie downs, baby.
Well, Keith, you want to tell us a little bit about how your trip has been, how your experience
I
has
have
been?
been a world-class personal shopper.
You
Ooh,
have.
okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Didn't really do a lot of demo stuff because I got Robin here. I don't need,
Handling most of it.
get the pros out there, let them do
Sure.
their thing. So,
Of course.
yeah, we had a great trip. I was really surprised at the turnouts yesterday and the day before.
That was
that was
great.
good.
Phil.
No,
I only put it up
Phil's great at
yesterday. Dude, I just fill the shop up in a day.
Yeah, no, he
And the team, and we got, of course, we can't really complain about any of the places we've been. 'Cause
No.
You don't really know about, it's like a lot of the museums, you don't really know they exist until all of a sudden you show up and you're
No,
like,
it's
Yeah.
true.
how did those get here?
Yeah, exactly. No, this was, it's been 3 years since we've done anything like this. So for first time back since
Yeah.
COVID, this has been a good, decent turnout. Our friends here at Hagerty, they've been wanting something to happen down here, so we made something happen down here.
Yeah.
Just happened to be on a Saturday Memorial Day
A
weekend.
little
So,
bit busy.
but the people that have been here have been dedicated and came down to learn and spend time and ask questions.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been really nice.
Yeah. So I had a
And
great.
that's the other thing I'll say is great mix of people.
Yes.
Every stop, we've had everybody from the enthusiast, hobbyist. Talking to a gentleman today who's like, "Well, I'm just looking to really do as little as possible. I want to hose it down with soap, and I want to rinse it." All the way up to the full-on high-end pros who do this every day. And
Yeah, of course.
do some really cool stuff. So it's been great to interact with them and kind of get the feedback of what they're excited about and what they're using.
Yeah, that's been nice.
So, as far as the reception for Defender and Swift, how's that been going?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
You always try when you launch a new product
Yeah.
to really get it right and figure out the numbers, what the response is going to be, and hope that you planned it right and put enough product on the shelf, in queue, ready to go.
Then the rest is just left to fate.
Right, not so much.
No.
Because the response has been tremendous. I mean,
Oh, that's good.
greater than we anticipated. I think maybe more than even you guys
Yeah.
thought would happen. I'll tell you another one that really is still kind of boggling our mind is the fragrance response.
Oh, interesting.
Holy
Yeah,
moly,
the
dude.
Essence ones. Yeah.
Well, yeah, those three products have just, just exploded, which is great. You know, it's a unexpected, you know, benefit, and it's a beautiful thing. But you never know when you do those what you think the response will be.
It's kind of an iffy one. But is there one that maybe outperforms the others, or is it pretty equal?
Well, I tell you what, as far as just flat out, we've wanted this forever. Of course, with the bead maker, and the mango. But you know, I think second in there was the green tea, or the one that really fits the absolute fragrance has really taken off. And you know, I'm not sure that there were that many people that really knew what that fragrance was.
Okay, interesting.
So, you know, like bead maker, everybody is known forever. I want that fragrance, I want that smell. But absolute, you know, it's only been out for less than a year, and it's, you know, it's been surprising. But we are out of, or not out of now, but we have burned through all the initial kind of pre-production much more quickly than we thought.
Okay, so you're already on to the new batches, all that stuff.
All the new batches. You know, the new labeling, of course, was another thing for us. So, you know, when you got Defender, you got new on new on new. So you got our new sprayers, which was awesome. Right? Forget the product in the bottle, which is all new. So you got new sprayers. You got a whole new label style, which is more of a foil label. So for us, it was a complete overhaul. The only thing that we've actually sold before out of the whole Defender thing is the bottle. So the triggers were brand new for us. The labels were a new format label.
People were very excited about the triggers. I know that.
Well, I got to tell you, I think the response on those has told us that that was a great choice.
It was a very good choice.
And just so everybody knows, those will infiltrate every other product in the line. It is an across-the-board rolling change. All those triggers are going on every product we sell.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think everybody will be excited to hear that.
Right, except for the quart bottle triggers, because those are the traditional ones.
That makes sense.
So we're thrilled about that. And the thank you to everybody who's bought product or has been, how should we say, harassing Levi and the team to get more product. Always a blessing to have the support from the detail community, the fans, the enthusiasts, everybody. You know, Defender has just been a fantastic product. I think Swift is the one that surprised us the most. You know, we always think there's a market for that product, but we didn't really know how many people were really looking for that. Because you and I have been at this professionally for a long time.
Made our own version.
Something more of a
or we've said, hey, you can't put a cleaner in with the dressing, one will eat the other, that kind of thing. So, you know, we didn't know how many naysayers would be out there who said that's never going to work. But people have really adopted it. Probably didn't hurt that it smells like orange creamsicle.
I mean, nobody's complaining about that.
So, yes, we've heard the request. That may be a fragrance that's in the pipeline at some point in the near future. People seem to have responded really well to that. So
Nice.
It's been a lot of fun.
Well, let's see. One thing I wanted to ask was, out of the stuff you guys carry, are there any sleeper products that you wish more people would pay attention to? I know you mentioned it before, but I figure for people listening now.
Well, you know, I have my personal favorites, but, you know, most of my favorites fit somewhere in everybody's favorite category. I mean, Bead Maker has taken us around the world, and it's not out of style, and it's not been replaced by an upgrade in Defender. They're totally different products.
It's evergreen, essentially.
Yeah, it's really been pretty stable product as far as what you can use it for and its application. I've always been a brake buster guy, but again, top three products. So it's not like it's a sleeper. I think quietly we've been kind of infiltrating the social media realm with Crystal Wash, which is just a fun product. We use it today, and it has kind of its own unique show, and it's got some really unique applications for it because it's an acid fallout remover, but it's also a nice wheel cleaning booster. So it's gaining some traction. New labels on that too, so that's exciting. And then of course you guys know my answer. Ultra Coat Polish is always the answer. Dave's first product, very first product in '87, before we really went into full-on production in-house in the new building. And it's just a great product, especially where we are now. We have paints that may be a little older, maybe need a little more hydrating than the new stuff. Doesn't have as much hydration in it as for the new paint finishes. So that's just a great product that's super consistent. It's got some abrasive in it to do some correction, but it's certainly not going to take a car from hammered back to
Right.
perfect. And it seems like when a lot of other stuff just doesn't do much, it seems to be kind of the rescue. If you're a golfer, it seems to be the rescue club
Yeah.
of our compound polish line, and we're super thrilled about it. There's some new toys in the compound line for us
okay.
coming that we're working on. I don't know if they'll hit the August mark because they got to get tested. I mean, you guys haven't seen them in your building
we
yet,
haven't
so
yet, no.
till that happens, we probably won't
Got to
say
make
anymore,
sure
but-
first.
But no, we're really. I mean, we're just fair warning. The fragrances will probably still continue to pop out.
Okay.
Without a lot of fanfare as
Yeah.
we develop the labeling and everything.
Right.
But you won't see really a big next product rollout for us until within a month or two, probably 2 of SEMA.
Okay.
So we're going to let things breathe a little bit. We kind of popped 5 products out and showed everybody all the stuff, and we're going to let that breathe a little bit and give everybody kind of an opportunity to pick those up, play with them, and get excited about them for the
Yeah.
summer. But there's a market for them, so it's a lot
Of
fun.
course. So as far as that goes, I know when it comes to P&S, the release schedule is sort of a setup where it's like it's not coming out until it's right, that kind of thing. So
Very
I
much
get
so.
it. It's not a guarantee that something's going to come out at a specific time unless it's already pretty much been locked in quality-wise, all that other stuff.
We try to target some consistent, we're trying to get to that. I mean, a few years ago we did 12 and 12 and had 14 products in a 12-month period. We did one a month, and that was a big kind of get, but there was a lot of opportunity
Spill it
there.
on you?
I just got some
Kind
hot
of did.
coffee.
It was
Woo!
like snowing cream. It
It's
was
hot.
awesome. Really? That is not snow foam.
You're just taking a sip.
But after that, we've kind of gone back to releasing products as they're ready. We've kind of looked internally and said, let's give our partners an opportunity to know generally when they should expect new stuff.
Yeah.
Because the big challenge we have is, used to be we're a U.S. company, and we would sell in the U.S. and give a couple weeks notice to everybody, and they can get the product in.
Right.
Yeah.
We've grown, production demands are higher, and we're international. So it's really hard for our international partners. And I'm talking to you guys in Europe, I'm talking to you guys in Australia and South America, that we roll out a product like Defender, give a couple week notice that it's coming out. But it's hard for our international partners to get it on their shelf when we go live with the rag company and say, here it is.
Sure, yeah.
So, we want to be respectful, mindful of that. It's always good to have buzz and people excited, but you also want to make sure you take care of your partners.
Yeah.
So they can take care of their partners.
Do
Because
right
at
by
the
them.
end of the day, the folks who are spraying this product on a vehicle are the key partner for all of us.
Of course.
They're the reason we do what we do.
Yeah. As far as P&S goes, we've pretty much established, talking about the actual scheduling of it, that kind of thing. Talked about products a little bit. You also mentioned your favorite. As far as that goes, the off-road line. You guys have been demonstrating that here.
So I hear there
showing
might
that
be
to
some
folks.
exciting news coming from the rag company on the off-road
Okay.
line.
Okay.
We've been working on some stuff.
So that, one of the unique things about our industry is, most of the manufacturers, we're not enemies, right?
No.
And a lot of us are not even friendly or colleagues. We're aligned partners, and
Yeah.
we certainly are with the rag company. Relationship we value greatly, similar to how we value our relationship with Rupes and some other partners. And so that was a joint venture. We were doing the chemical, you guys were doing, let's find the right towels to pair with this, let's find the right brushes, and the brush is kind of the last thing. So I don't want to say the product line is stalled, because it hasn't. It moves and it does a good job.
Of course.
By the way, top tip, Mudbuster.
Oh.
Get Mudbuster, you'll find out. But
Phil, you leaving?
that's a product that's going to grow.
Always good to see you guys.
Phil,
man.
thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Great chat.
Likewise. Thank you, man. I have
Yeah.
fun.
Thanks, Phil.
Take care,
Thanks,
See you,
Phil.
man.
So, the line is, it's going out through our distribution network,
Yeah.
but we are working on kind of getting it more into the mainstream UTV shops.
Yeah.
That's a goal for us this next 12 months, is to really put that out there. Great product line. It just, It was really built for the enthusiast, more the hobbyist. But the pros always hit me up and say, look, the 2 products I got to have out of that, I got to have the Mud Buster, and I got to have the Wide Open, which is the soap. And both of those have a rust inhibitor in them, and they do a fantastic job of cleaning the dirty vehicles. So we're excited about it. I'm excited about the new announcement that should be coming in before we get to
Hopefully.
He knows something.
Game plan.
And once we get that together, I think we will start to put packages in place and really do a kind of reinvigorated marketing effort there, because we love that product line.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool with that new launch stuff.
What I was going to say is...
Bye, Brian!
Bye! As far as rust inhibitors go, is that common to find in products like that, or is that something that you guys are kind of stand out for?
Well, I think it's a common necessity.
Okay.
I don't know how common it is across the board, but it's a common necessity in that space. You have a lot of gravel, you have a lot of opportunity for chip. The bigger thing is you have a lot of powder coating.
Right.
Those vehicles are really well known for having powder, or they have bare or anodized metal parts, just because of the nature of the exposed frames and everything else. Even the motors are exposed in a way a typical engine bay isn't. So it isn't, I don't know how common it is, but I think it's something that if you have the ability to build it into a product, it makes a lot of sense. And so when Dave was formulating those products, we looked at the need and said, that it makes a lot of sense to do that.
Well, and that's why I asked about that, is because I don't really hear other people talking about that in their soaps or things like that. So that just seems like something that stands out amongst the lineup.
Well, and Brake Buster also has a rust inhibitor in it.
Yeah.
And again, that just makes sense, right? You're working around wheels and tires. You got a lot of times, most vehicles now are all disc brakes all the way around. So you're going to have steel rotors. And it just makes sense to have a product that doesn't make it look like the wheels got clean and now we've rusted out the rotors. And we know a few taps of the brakes as you go down the road, that all just goes away. But it's just a nice feature to have in there in case, again, you do have a powder coat wheel that's chipped or whatever it is.
Of course.
You've got a little bit of rust inhibitor in there to kind of protect that surface. I still say we should have taken that. You just left in a Magnum.
Could have done some made our own donuts out of there.
I know. We could have done them right here.
Different
we
kind of
a tent
donuts.
or two, and we could have. Attaboy.
There's a hammy.
Can't hear him coming. He ain't the one.
Atta-chat. Okay. Well, other than that, now we're thinking here. Other P&S stuff, interesting things you've got planned coming up here as far as training engagements, travel engagements, things like that. What's on the schedule?
Boy, we did 3 Bullet Thursday, and thanks to Levi for joining us on that one. We got a lot on the schedule.
We got the Hidden Springs Car Show coming up next.
So before we get there, Rennie's on tour in Southern California doing cars, coatings, car fee, and profits. I'm in North Carolina next week for coating class. I'm back in Rochester.
And Rochester.
The following week. Again, terrible scheduler. I'll have to talk to myself about that. Then we got Sydney's car show, obviously, and a lot of the teams going there. But before we even get to that, our first week of June or so, we have the training center. So Tony Mazzell, for those who don't know, joined our team a couple months ago as our on-staff trainer because Prentice Sinclair went to Rupes, which was a great get for them. And I think a great win for the industry because we got a guy on the West Coast that we all know and does a great job. So kudos to Prentice, but we double one because we also got Tony. And Tony will be there doing his classes, but he'll have a special guest instructor in Sydney.
Nice.
And he'll have special guest students in Sydney's daughter Delaney.
Oh,
so
that's
I'm
cool.
just really want to videotape the whole thing and see how that goes for Tony. But Tony's also bringing his wife Bonnie up to be in the classes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And just heard the news that a member of the Buff and Shine family will also be in attendance. So
nice.
Rich's son will be there attending, and Rich will be visiting the factory at the same time.
Oh, cool.
Well, that's way cool.
And then we have a
So you
special
got a swag
guest
bag?
chemist coming to P&S that same time frame.
You get one for Dane.
And for those who don't know her, Jessica Tran, who
coming.
is the queen of
Thank you,
Express
Anthony.
Interior Cleaner,
Yes.
will actually be on site to make a batch or two of Express Interior.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, yeah.
So she'll be up there for a couple of days, and Bob and Dave will be running around with all the normal pandemonium and order shipping. But yeah, we're going to have a whole bunch of people up there.
It'll be pretty cool.
And then I think there are a couple of seats left. So if you really want to go get the training, you couldn't pick a better time.
Send Dane down there. Certified detailer Dane Henry.
There we go. Yes, certified detailer Dane.
You passed the
Nice.
test.
I am.
All right.
I got that. We're not so bad.
Well,
but,
at some point we got to hand this thing off to somebody. And
I know,
retire
right?
from all
I
this
saw Brian
training stuff.
walking around. I kind of wanted to grab him.
Oh, yeah. We
Yeah.
got it.
Brian.
If one of you want to fetch him, I'll go have a chat with him.
Yeah.
Keep things lively over here on the live.
Lots going on. And that just gets us to June 17th.
Well, right, yeah.
And then, then there's Air Force One. And by the way, probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll have some announcements with respect to Monterey.
Okay.
It looks like that project is back in the queue again this year, which is great.
Nice.
We're here with our partners here at Motor Lux. Obviously, I'm wearing the shirt.
Obviously,
and
yeah.
Brother group works out of this facility as well. Brian, where are you going?
I got a seat for you, buddy. Yeah,
You're
no,
in the
we're
hot
live
seat.
right now.
Now
We're just
both of us are going to ask.
we're hanging out and chatting. So
Good afternoon.
no pressure. No pressure.
Good afternoon, everybody.
I'm just gonna put this chat over here on the side.
So the first thing we're going to ask you is one cream or two in your coffee.
2 creams.
Oh, that's good.
2 creams. There you go. My kind of guy. Cheers.
2 creams.
Clink.
No sugar.
1.5. Well, 1.5.
He's skinny. He can afford it.
Let's see. I got Joey here. I love using P&S products. Something about supporting a local company who makes awesome products makes the detail that much better. And love Absolute Brake Buster from Glenn here. Can't wait for the upcoming full vid from P&S on Crystal Wash, says Super Auto.
So check out the Beadmaker Lounge. I did a little quick snippet where I had applied the Crystal Wash and it had dried on the hood like it's supposed to.
Okay.
And I was talking about how do you then remove the product afterwards.
Okay.
So I think I got to get permissions to Robin so she can admin that sucker in there.
Oh,
But,
good.
she'll have that video posted here in a little bit.
Okay. So that's pretty soon. And let's see. We've got some... Oh. Super Auto says, Dane, you mentioned a TRC eyeglass cleaning towel yesterday during the live vid.
Yeah.
I can't find it on the TRC website. Where is it? It's a 6x7 knit lens cloth. We
Hang on.
carry them around everywhere
What's
we
it?
go.
Hold on.
They are extremely useful. The camera you're looking
My
for is
name is
right
Dana,
here.
and I'm here to demonstrate.
Oh, it's up here, right here. There you go. Yep.
Look, we could use this as like the opening screen
Perfect.
and then
Yep.
fade back.
Perfect for cleaning your phone camera.
Yeah.
Phone camera,
Sunglasses.
Terminator glasses, whatever you got. It's perfect for that.
Well, and Joey says, I stare at my shelf of rinseless washes, and 9 times out of 10 I'm grabbing Absolute. So that's always nice.
So they're all the whiskeys and all the different bourbons.
Oh, of course, naturally. The
So
whiskeys
Anthony
and
is now
bourbons.
tempting me to go be a bad boy and steal bourbon from
So
upstairs.
while you go do that, I'll have a chat
They
here with
offered.
Brian.
They said, "Hey, they were here."
Oh, they offered.
Oh,
I gotta
they
go.
offered.
Come out of here. See
That's
you guys.
permission right there.
There's a cup in the gift bag.
Yeah. Sheesh. And on that note, move this chat box up here. All right, we're good. So anyway, Brian, it's been a fun show, but how are things going?
It's going really good. I think that we've met a lot of really interesting people here.
I think so.
A lot of very good questions, and yeah, I've actually enjoyed meeting everybody, and more importantly, spending time with you guys, and more importantly, with our industry colleagues and our company vendors, and yeah, this doesn't get any better than this.
No, this is some of my very favorite stuff to do, and I know a lot of times people kind of give us a hard time if we're going on a trip or something like, oh, enjoy your vacation. I think they miss the fact that while we do enjoy doing it, it is absolutely work.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, you see me doing the switching all day on this.
Yep.
The other guy's walking around. Yeah, Anthony's on his phone. He always looks like he's like, oh, just texting, whatever. Half the time he's like editing a TikTok or he's doing some kind of Instagram reel or some kind of post. So I gotta cover for him there because it's true. He is working.
It's a lot, you know, for us to be out here, and we have to, you know, the talking, you know, I was speaking with other guys out here, you know, it's even if it's not physical, it's still exhausting because there's a lot of, you know, mental talking taking place all day, and we're giving people instructions. I don't want to say repeating ourselves because everybody's variable is different, you know, so But it's still good conversations. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's everybody feels worked. Yeah, everybody feels worked, for sure.
But as far as the trip has gone, were there any kind of highlight stuff that stuck out to you that you particularly liked, or is it just kind of all a blur and you're just...
No. There was many. I guess the first highlight for myself was to be with the guys at Detailed Image. Hanging out with Reese, Michael, Greg, and everybody else. That meant a lot to me. You know, I've been working with Detailed Image myself for probably well over 10 years, and I love those guys a lot. So being able to spend a leisurely morning and afternoon with them, that was a huge highlight. Second, we got to go to Detailer's Domain the second day.
That was great, actually.
It was funny because Phil and I both made the same post about this, because Phil and I have known each other for a long time, a very long time. 20 years.
Okay, yeah.
And this was my first time at Detailer's Domain, and it was long overdue. So
he was telling me about that. He's like, I've known Brian a very long time. Never actually met the guy in person.
We have spent countless hours on the phone before in the past. We've discussed so much over the years. I have so much respect for Phil because he's a legend in this industry. Detailer's Domain is they've been one of the leading examples of retail and then service, and Phil and Sue over there, they do a fantastic job. So, but yes, that's correct. It's like over the many years of my involvement with car care, Phil and I have a very long relationship with each other, and we've missed each other countless times. So to be able to set foot into Detailer's Domain, give this guy a hug,
it just took the meet and greet to make it happen.
This was a huge highlight. And then meeting some people. I met some really awesome people yesterday at the LED suppliers.
That was a good show, by the way. I really enjoyed that.
There was a good turnout.
The turnout was solid.
The turnout was good. It was like a little miniature car show in the
right. Yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah. But really awesome support and customer support. A lot of people coming up and asking really good questions. I almost feel like I've known them for forever with the approach and with they have a lot of questions in regards to Colourlock, and so I was happy to be there.
Yeah. Well, right. And, sorry, there's a lot of fuzzies floating around in the air right now. I was going to ask you, you're working with Colourlock, how that relationship's been, how that process has been. You're always carrying around this hat. Everybody recognizes you with the hat.
Everybody
it's like
recognizes me.
A fine leather good in its own right.
Yeah, and it's good though. I want everybody to see my full face. I love my hats. Basically, and a lot of people who might be watching who don't know my story.
Absolutely.
And
let them in on
2016, I wound up in a medical treatment situation, and it really took me away from my detailing business. It was a long time in the hospital dealing with situation after situation. I had probably the most amazing people behind me. An entire detailing industry was behind me, supporting me along the way. But through this, I ended up finding a love and a passion for creating leather goods. So I started making hats. Many people who have seen me over the last several years in the past at MTE, I would always have staples or scars or things like this on my head, and I figured out a way to cover them up and adjust the conversations by putting a hat on. It wasn't something I ever thought of, or it was never a goal in my auto detailing career, but I'm really happy that I found it. And through this passion with leather, understanding collagen and understanding how to take care of our skin, understanding how to take care of this,
it takes on a whole new meaning.
It's taken on a whole new meaning, and my love and passion for leather is perfectly in line with this company Colourlock that I've been with for effectively many years. But but officially and moving forward, we got a long time to go. So, and I'm super
Nice.
excited about that.
Well,
I
I'm
love
glad to
working
hear
with
that.
Lars. Lars is a very dear friend of mine, and I couldn't be any more happier than I am right now in this industry.
That's great. Well, it's always hard when you go through something, a struggle like that, and to be able to come out on the other side of it feeling like you're doing even better now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a positive experience, and everybody's there to support you.
Of
So
course.
you don't have to worry about that. You're good. You're
course.
covered.
So, but,
But,
yeah, being out here and being here, this is a wonderful purpose and reason to wake up in the morning.
Can't argue with that. I'm not a morning person, but I've found that getting up each morning for this trip, I've been really enjoying just
Yeah,
what's the adventure going to look like today.
yeah.
I really like that part
Yeah,
of it.
no, I do too.
You've been riding in the back seat
do.
on
I've been
her
riding.
driving around. I'm driving us. You got Anthony cracking jokes. You got
Yeah.
Levi trying to be the co-pilot, and then
Yeah.
Jimmy's just doing his thing.
No, but honestly, I am in the right place.
Yeah,
And,
no,
I
you
am,
feel
and,
we're the right fit.
I absolutely know this. I absolutely know this. So
No, that's great.
being with you guys for this trip has been amazing. I've had this has been a super time. It's going too quick as they always do.
Yeah, that is true. Well, you
it's-
can ride in my car anytime. You're good.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely appreciate you being a part of this whole trip, this whole journey. And yeah, I know it's a little on the slow side today, but it's been relaxing. It's been nice to be able to just come out to a pretty place, got cool cars. And, I'm doing these streams, but I'm taking the opportunity to have somebody sit in the chair next to me and just have a conversation about detailing.
It's pretty cool. I've been detailing and in this industry for a long time. I take a walk through this garage and I can actually spot a couple cars that I've
As I
met
say, you
before.
recognize a few. You're like, laid hands on that a few
I
times.
might have met that car before.
Yeah.
So there's some beautiful machinery in this building behind me. Yeah. So this is a really cool place to be. So
Yeah. I really wish I could show you guys more of it.
Yeah, but-
That's been the one limiting factor. I'd have a lot more to show today if I could actually take a camera in there. But the best I can do right now is flip over to this mobile cam and just see what people are doing in there. So yeah, that's the best I got. I can't turn that camera around.
Yeah. If we can turn that camera
Yeah,
around,
oh
the
boy,
jaw-
you guys
the,
can see some
Yeah,
things.
the eyeballs go up.
But no, we've been having a good time, and so let me ask you, since got you here, as far as detailing goes, you're doing the Colourlock thing now, but are you still doing any kind of details outside of that you're just doing for yourself or for other people?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a handful of people that I will gladly pretty much always take care of if the time allows, if the right time of the year allows.
Sure.
And yeah, absolutely. So I don't publicize
just like
it.
a handful.
Yeah,
Kinda,
and like I really can't publicize it because if I do, I give
Everybody in
I
the
give other
cousin.
people the wrong impression.
Right.
It's like I don't, as much as I would love to say, hey, I'm open and we're open for service and to turn my AO wheel switch back on, that would be very cool, but it's actually, I'm very okay with this not being a part of my future agenda. So I have a handful of people that I love and respect, automotive resellers, clients, friends, that I will still take care of their cars 100%.
Nice. Well, let's see. You guys have any questions for Brian while I got him here? I know there's a delay, so you won't see this for about 30 seconds or something, so we'll give you guys a chance to weigh in, but if there's anything you want to throw our way, obviously, if you got anything to say to him.
Good leather questions.
Yeah, no,
Good
leather questions, this is your guy right here. I mean, number one, you said you were making them, so like, what kind of stuff? What's your preference? What do you like making?
I like making hats is my number one thing. I think
So
that
this one, for example.
this one here that I have for an example, hats, book bags. I like making hats and book bags a lot, but I would probably say hats are the number one. I make porcupine hats, newsboy hats, flat caps.
I'd be curious to see a newsboy
baseball
one.
caps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the newsboy ones are really cool. So, but ultimately, it's about finding the right leather and making sure that you get the right material. So, leather's always leather. It's an organic material, and it's it comes in many shapes and sizes.
I was gonna
but
say that just means it's gonna differ
Yeah.
almost infinitely
Yeah.
from one to the
Yeah.
next.
Yeah, there's
So-
so many different ways. I like to simplify it for all the people here.
Yeah.
You know, between the tanning process, we have a vegetable tan leather and we have a chrome tan leather, and most vehicles are going to fall into line with chrome tan leathers. So, with this being said, it's basically a pigmented leather. You know, and caring for a pigmented leather is different than caring for an aniline leather, which most people will, in the automotive, will refer to as King Ranch or something like this. This is an
Right,
aniline
okay.
leather. So, but there's two variations of leathers, effectively, you know, and then we have the synthetics and vinyls and these types of materials as well. But yeah, I really like working with real leather. I have a hard time.
The synthetic stuff, the
with this-
vegan leather,
yeah, I
it's
have a
just
hard-
leather.
Yeah. But like the leather that I work with is, and it's no offense to any of the automakers, but it's 100 times better than what's in a car.
Oh, yeah.
So any of my finished products is a leather of very high quality. You know?
Okay, so, you know, not to toot your own horn or
Yeah, no,
anything,
no,
but
no,
you know what you're looking
yeah,
at. You're
yeah,
picking
yeah.
the good stuff.
Yeah.
So, out of curiosity, I swear he didn't ask me to do this. If you're making these things, is there someplace people can find them if they want to get some? Or is it kind of like a personal
Yes and no.
thing?
Yes
Yeah.
and no. It's more or less a hobby. I do it because I enjoy it. It's also something that I don't want to spoil. It's a lot like with all my years with car care, I understand that I might have started car detailing because I really loved it, and after many years, it turns into a job.
Yeah.
And one of my fears behind moving forward with the leather making stuff right now is that it turns into a job, and at this point I'm still not at a point where I'm ready to make that happen because I want to enjoy it for longer.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Now, on the other end here, I've got Peter asking, where would Napa or Merino leather play in? He's wondering, like, if
Napa or Merino leather is basically a chrome tan leather. It's a pigmented leather. Napa is a term that's used to categorize a massive amounts of leather into one category.
Okay.
So we hear this term a lot. If we take companies, BMWs and Mercedes, et cetera, they give their leathers all types of different names. At the end of the day, if it is a piece of cow, it's an organic material and it's a piece of cow and it's a leather. If it's a piece of vinyl or plastic or something like this, then it falls into this category. So, but cows are always cows. This is not going to change.
I have another question that kind of ties into that too, which is, as far as the not real leather is concerned, are there any that are more convincing than others? Are there any where you kind of looked and went, oh, it took me a second to catch on?
Oh,
or,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and these
probably
tannin-
more when it's coated, right?
Yeah. These tannin processes and production methods, like, this is the name of the game.
Yeah.
They're looking to basically make something that looks and feels a lot like leather, but with more durability and with, more longevity. And this is why we see the names, and this is why we see a lot of the confusion and the places where the automotive makers are making this, is because durability and long-term longevity out of the product is what their goal is. So if we rewind the clock and look at the 69 Camaros, et cetera, things like this, and fast forward to today's modern leather, just within this short period of time, you can see a massive difference between leather production and how it was made. And if we continue to fast forward into the unknown future right now, we're going to see a lot less genuine leathers moving forward.
Right.
I would
I was
imagine.
going to ask, like, regulations and things, we find it more stringent processes.
Moving forward, we'll probably see more synthetic leathers, and it's because it's a supply and demand situation, good and bad to say, in my opinion. Synthetic leathers actually produce more burn off into the gas, or the gas off into the ozone, so it's not necessarily
it's not exactly eco-friendly.
It's not exactly eco-friendly, correct.
Then again, factory farming isn't either, so it's kind of like, okay, well, what's it going to be? And obviously the best leather isn't coming from a place like that.
No. We have to use
Yeah.
leather though because it's a byproduct of the meat industry.
Right,
And,
yeah.
you
If
know,
you don't use it, it still exists.
yes,
Like,
yes.
it's got to go somewhere.
And if car makers don't use it, but the cool thing about leather is that they'll still find a way to use it because the material itself has served since the dawn of time. It's been one of the most durable, most reliable materials since early primitive man. And unless something changes around that, which I don't think it will, leather will still be used, whether or
Right.
not they break it down however they decide to break it down. Collagen itself is a very durable material.
Let's see. I've got Glenn here saying, "What's the turnaround time if I needed a particular color other than black?" So for Colourlock products, say he has some kind of restoration.
It could be about a week on
That's not
average
bad.
if we have the color code in our list. So, for example, we've produced, and anybody who's been in the game of making paints, for example, you can fill your system. You can fill your system with tens of thousands of different paint codes per color. There's hundreds of variations of the word gray. There's hundreds of variations of red, more. And so with this being said, like the computer systems can't necessarily keep track of dated items and dated cars because there's constantly new coming in. And then we also have to take into consideration sun damage. Once the car's out into the sun after a few years, colors will fade, luster dulls down. So if you said, here I have a 2002 BMW with a Lamaze blue interior, this color might be out of the system. We can make the color if we need a sample, but also at the same token, then this might take a little bit longer if we need a sample. But we can absolutely do an exact color match. But if I go off of the OEM color and send it back to you, and it's slightly off, now it's maybe a little bit too bright because the existing leather around it has been faded and sun damaged or maybe not cared for properly, then the OEM color can absolutely be slightly off. So, but it's very important for us that we make sure that we get you an accurate, most exact color. So, but if you send me a sample, I can get it to you an exact. If we go off of a chart, just make sure that the places that you're repairing, that it's not so isolated. Give it enough feathering out so that you can blend it with the existing areas really well.
Okay, no, that's great advice. And of course, I've got Barry here asking, is there a link to your website? Well, it's colourlock.com, correct?
Yeah, colourlock.com.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll type it in here for you so you guys have it.
You'll find it in the Leather Fresh category. So with Colourlock, we have two forms of pigments, and there's two ways that you can do a repair. We have obviously the DIYs with the Leather Fresh, and basically what a Leather Fresh is and what I would turn around and make for you, it's actually 60% pigment, 40% is a neutral binder and a top coat, and it's blended into one. So it's a 3-part product into one, basically meaning that you can use this product and it's done.
Okay.
Versus if we do a professional side of repair, you're going to use an air gun, you're going to do more prep work, you're going to lay paint, and then you're going to lay a top coat. It's not a 2-part into one system when we do it on a professional side. So
Okay.
That's the difference between the two pigments. Sometimes we'll make a pigment and knowing that it's for a leather repair expert, and we make them the actual pigment. If we do it for a customer and they need to do something in their garage rather quickly, this is what we call Leather Fresh.
Okay.
And this is the one where it's a 3-in-1 system, basically.
Right. And so for a lot of those, kits and things, we carry that stuff at theragcompany.com as well. But if you're looking for specific custom colors, that kind of thing, then definitely contact these guys. They'll be able to walk you through it. I was also going to point out, because Umberto asking, wouldn't the VIN number have a log of the leather color for the vehicle per the specs?
Yeah, it absolutely could.
Okay. Yeah, so there's definitely options, especially on newer cars. It becomes easier to identify that stuff. Older ones, it's kind of hit or miss.
If we can't find it, I have local friends in my local dealership who I'll just call and say, here, let me run a VIN for you. And then as long as I can get an accurate leather name, to it, and then they can, this doesn't tell me the recipe on how to make the color, but for us, we need a very accurate leather name.
Okay.
If somebody says, hey, I have a tan, we need more to go off of. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's very helpful. And so, what's something that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily think to ask about leather care, but you feel is very, very important and they should know about it?
I feel that a lot of people should be very aware of how leather is made, number one, and I think that if we look into seeing how leather is made, it helps us understand how to care for it. Our entire leather repair system is built around the process of repeating the tannin process, and the tannin process is how leather is made. Leather doesn't simply come off of a cow and then go into a car.
It doesn't just appear.
No, it doesn't just appear this way. They have to make leather malleable, and they have to get leather through a tannin process, which takes time. And we have to be patient with our leather, and we have to be patient with our leather care, because we can't repair it just because there's a product that says so. We have to understand the material and how it's made to help revive it, bring it back to life. And just like the tannin process, this took time,
Okay.
So if we're dealing with a leather that's been not treated for years, I know that I need to get it into a condition before I can even start work on it, and this might take some time before I can get it into a condition where it's workable. So, and ideally, if we were to walk through a tannery right now, there's one of the jobs that's constantly taking place at a good tannery is they're constantly balancing the pH of the water, because it goes through a soaking process, and as they're balancing the water, they're basically looking for a perfect pH, and this is generally around 5 to 5.5 pH. The water that we drink is around 7. Our body sweats and oils, we're putting off a pH around 8 and plus. So we're constantly raising pH when we're on leather. When we're physically in contact with leather, or when we're cleaning leather, or if we spill water on our leather, or if I get in my car and I'm all wet, I'm effectively adjusting the pH within the leather, and the leather is built and made that has a certain type of oil and grease and fat within it that allows it to be flexible and malleable, soft and luxurious feeling. And in order for us to maintain that, we have to think of the word pH. So if we put too much water on leather, what happens? It dries and it cracks, because we adjusted the pH. So I think looking into the production of how leather is made will definitely help us understand how to care for it better.
Okay. No, that's very helpful. And yeah, I was always curious about the process of producing leather specifically for automotive purposes, that kind of thing, because it does seem like, there's a significant process involved. It does not just happen overnight.
No.
I mean, some of the best and the worst still have to go through some kind of process, regardless of the quality.
Yeah, of course.
But in terms of cost, is there a significant cost difference between high quality versus low quality leather stock?
Not so much with the automotive industry. I mean, yes and no. It depends on the automotive manufacturer, to be honest with you. Like, there is automotive makers out there that do seek a better quality product, but the majority, if we think about the majority, the answer is no. So the majority is going to use the byproduct of the meat industry. And with that being said, it's not the greatest cow condition. It's not the greatest animal condition.
Okay.
So leather is effectively graded on its condition. If I was a cow, based off of skin cancer past and everything else, I would be a low-grade cow. I wouldn't be worth a whole lot.
Oh, what a horrible way to rate yourself, jeez.
But so the better our skin quality, the better our skin quality is going to basically better.
So someone who exfoliates every day and does the whole 9 yards, it's like, okay, you'd be a great leather hide.
Great
Buffalo
candidate.
Bill would love you.
But it's also also within how leather's made. So
Okay.
you can take a poor skin condition and make it a luxury product, absolutely. But now you're just giving it more time through this tannin process and pigmented process, and so effectively, if it went through a longer tannin process, then you have a better quality leather effectively. If we go to most stuff where it's gimme now, they're producing very fast, and the manufacturing's very fast, so you can't expect the greatest quality out of it.
Okay. Yeah, because that was going to be kind of my big question was, well, what really constitutes a good versus a bad leather?
Yeah.
Like, same thing when it happens with microfiber, it's a very segmented process. It's like, well, it's not just one place responsible for making the end product. It has to go through several different steps to segment it out. So you could have something that was potentially made in the same factory at the end when all the parts found their way together, but those parts, the yarn, the actual dyes used, all that stuff along the way come from many different places.
Yes,
so the end result may look similar, but it won't be the same at all when you actually use it.
Correct.
So the leather can kind of be the same story.
Same principle.
Okay.
Oh, if I had one more important thing to say is that leather is a lot like the exterior of the car. I like to simplify it like this too. If I polish on a car and I burn the paint, I can't replace the paint. If we're constantly, as we're getting in and out of our car, we're burning our bolsters, we're burning our steering wheels. We are the abrasive factor, we are the pad. Based on if I'm wearing denim or if I'm wearing silk, this is a coarse pad versus a fine pad. So my friction on the seat is acting as an abrasive to the leather. So, and what's taking place when we see the fadedness is we're burning the clear coat and we're burning the paint. That's a good way to simplify it with auto detailing community. But the cool thing about leather is that unlike the car, we have the ability to replace lost material. So each time that we know that we're abrasive on certain sections of the vehicle, our elbows rest, our gear shifters, our steering wheels, our bolsters, wherever the high traffic is at in our car, those are the areas we need to focus on. The rest of the car, like the back of the headrest that never gets friction, a treatment every now and then is okay, but at the end of the day, it's really good and it was made well. So it's already durable. We don't need to focus on this as being a part of the process as much as we do the high traffic zones. Those are the parts that we have to pay attention to. And like I would never tell somebody to care for the same car the exact same way all the way through. You care for it based on its condition versus section. Each section should be cared for in the condition that it's in.
Okay, so you could have the same piece of leather in different spaces, treated differently based on the wear that occurred there. Okay. And as far as other leather questions go, I guess one thing I've always been curious about is, like, say all other things being equal, what's the best and worst case scenario of how an owner could treat the leather in their car to ensure it's going to last? So, like, worst case scenario is, a person with these habits is more likely to have issues. A person with, that kind of thing. So what would paint a scene? What would that look like for somebody who's the best or worst case scenario?
Well, the best case scenario is somebody who steps in and out of their car with the understanding that they're not trying to damage the leather, so they're being kind. We're not just falling out of the car. We're understanding that when the material flexes and moves, that we have the ability to change it, alter it, abrade on it. So how we get in and out of the car makes a big difference. And then how we touch the car. If I know that I'm super sweaty, or if I know that I'm wet, or if I know that I'm out on a hot day, I have to know that the leather is also reacting in a way according to this as well. So leather will shrink and expand. It's a porous material. It's going to shrink under cold conditions, and it's going to expand when it's too hot. So leather's always moving, kind of.
Okay.
So, but just being aware is the best thing. If I would personally, it's funny that you say that, Dane. Like, we see auto detailers, and I'm guilty of this myself. The customer's getting ready to come pick up the car. You know, everything's perfect on the outside of it. I'm walking around with a towel.
All right,
you know,
just set the scene. All right, we're great.
Customer touches the paint.
lot of work.
I'm running behind them, cleaning it up. Like, don't put fingerprints, don't touch it, don't, you know what I mean? So we would play all this emphasis onto the exterior of the car, and we're not touching it, right?
Yeah.
We're very careful. We're using the right towels, and you know, things like this. If I wanted, if myself in this position, and now with a lot of what I know, I think one of the things I would like to see is that when cars are being returned to customers, I would like to see the same level of care being treated for the interior. It's not just jump in, turn the key on, pull it out, let me get this ready for you. Maybe we want to put a little plastic sleeve around the steering wheel because we cleaned it really well,
Sure.
and we've got it nicely balanced and it's in perfect condition. Maybe we did a nice treatment to the seats, and you know, but we don't take this into regard. You know, we get in, we move it, and we grab the tools and start going about it. But it's still a part of the car, and it's still a part of the detailing process, just like the exterior is. So I think that if we gave it more credit, at the end of the day, the customer is spending their time here. You know, most of the time. So it's very important for them to have a very good interior detail.
Okay. No, that's definitely something I was curious about. As far as manufacturers, are there any that you would note have particularly nice leather? You know, their sourcing, it just seems to be better. Or some where you're kind of like, I'd avoid it. You know, if I could, maybe get the cloth exterior instead.
I don't want to name it. I don't want to name any names.
No. But
there's some good quality manufacturers out there. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that is okay. So us as detailers, there's a couple cars here that I pointed out today to the car owners who had no idea until I pointed it out to them. But next time we're in a car and we're detailing it, and if we're looking at a bolster, how it's and with a nice car, let's pretend it's a nice car, you know, Ferrari.
We're at a place with nice cars.
Yeah, we're at a place with nice cars. Notice how the panels are stitched together, and then also look at the character of the leather. So if you see that it's like goes from a smooth consistency, and then all of a sudden you have a wrinkle pattern somewhere along the lines, and it's small, but you see a wrinkle pattern, or maybe you see a certain stretch mark, or maybe you see some character that this piece of skin had. Take into consideration that this is coming from a part of a neck, it rolls into a belly, or it rolls into a shoulder, or it rolls into, you know, because at the end of the day it is a cow and it is a cow skin, and the quality of the material and its consistency is fully dependent on what section it came from. You know, so if it came from a shoulder, or if it came from a neck, or if it came from a stomach, these things change the consistency of the leather, and also change how its feel is going to be.
Okay,
you know?
So really you're looking for the ones that may have been contained like a midsection kind of long, consistent, the least difference from it.
And you can see it in the wrinkles. You can see it in you can see it in certain parts. You know, there's a lot of places out there that are like, hey, iron these wrinkles out, and I always tell people, can you take the wrinkles out of my hand?
Pretty sure they're just going to stay there, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could do everything.
You put lotion on it, it's still there.
Still there. We still have fingerprints. You know, so we can't reverse. You know, we just can't reverse this. You know, and but we have to appreciate it. And I think that once we spot it, it's more appreciable. You know, if we were to respect this animal in its dead life.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do at that point is just treat it well, and how you use the remaining parts.
Of course. I mean, we all want to be treated well after we're dead.
Yeah, no, it's like, okay, I won't be there, but it'd be nice if, you know, people would still be kind, respectful, whatever. It's just like,
so, the best deed that we can do for our leather is take good care of it afterwards, you know, because this is leather.
So, as far as that stuff is concerned, let's see, what else do we have? I'm just kind of thinking about all the times I've run into leather things. So, okay, for example, say I got into a car that I trusted had real leather. It wasn't pleather. It wasn't some, you know, vegan leather thing. It was real leather. But it just, you know, this is a total newbie, you know, coming at it, just going, I felt the leather in a new version of this car. It felt very soft and gentle and supple and all that. I go to my car, it's been used maybe It's like 6 or 7 years old. It has kind of a shiny quality to it, and it feels hard to the touch. It feels very slick, but not in a velvety way. It doesn't feel like the leather that I imagine. It almost feels like plasticky leather because it's so stiff. What happened?
This is that adjustment in pH.
Okay.
We use the same term in the leather world, is that basically when this happens, the leather oxidizes. So when we polish on paint and we're being aggressive with we're being aggressive with wool pads and compounds, effectively we're exfoliating the paint.
Okay.
And we're drying it out. And the same thing happens with leather. We are drying leather out through the process of wear and tear, and it's very important that we add this nutritional value back into it. So it's the same kind of principle with paint. Any form of exfoliation, any form of cleaning, any form of wear and tear is an abrasion to the material. If we as humans never developed lotion, for example, or creams or things like this, we wouldn't. We'd be walking around incredibly
itchy, uncomfortable all the time. The whole 9
irritated.
yards.
Dry, flaking.
Some of us do.
We still do.
Some of us still do.
Some of us do. We got bad habits. I'm guilty.
It's all right.
But this is what's happening. Is that we're not having enough nutrition to the material, and this is what's causing it to become dry.
Okay.
And also that we know that it's a pigmented surface, basically meaning that it's painted. When it becomes dry and now it takes a massive flex, we basically crack the top coat in the paint. So, but the underlying collagen, the material, I use an example too. Like if I had a baseball glove and it got left out in the rain, and then I threw it in the garage for 2 or 3 years, and it's all dried out at this point. But I pick it back up, and now it's all hard. If we all had a baseball glove or a football or something like this, if we wanted to bring this baseball glove back to life, we rub some oils back on it, and we bring this baseball glove back to life so that it's flexible, soft, and feels good, and same exact principle.
Yeah, because that is something I've seen in like used cars where I go, I know this leather's not supposed to look or feel like this.
Yeah.
But I did always wonder if it was possible, can it bring it back, or is it kind of toast and you just get what you get in terms of trying to make it better? It's never going to be perfect again.
This is a question. And in regards to like leather repair, we have to make this judgment call. Is it worth repairing, or should it just be replaced?
Like if it's all there, there's no holes in it, there's no tears, maybe some like stress, marks on the surface but nothing that's gone all the way through. Even if it's completely just shiny, hard, rough, whatever. At that point, is it worth it, or is it just time to reupholster?
It's worth giving it a shot.
Okay.
It's worth giving it a shot. We have leather softeners, we have the elephant fat, we have these products that help to restore this. But again, you can't apply it, wipe it off, and expect a result.
Right.
You have to give it time.
It's a procedure you do over and over to continually improve it. It's not just a one and done.
Yeah, it's not a one and done. It's not a wipe on, wipe off, and
leather doesn't work that.
No. It didn't happen like that when they made it, and it's not going to happen like that when we restore it. So we have to just be patient with this softening and reconditioning process. We have the elephant fat. I like to tell people to apply it a little bit heavy, leave it set, until the next day, however long. And if we do this on an older leather and we come back the next day, what you'll recognize is the spots of the leather that pulled it in, that really wanted it, and then there might be other spots where it still has its shine, and we can call it a high spot. This is giving us an indication of the leather's condition. The parts that wanted it took it. The parts that saying, "Hey, I'm okay," you know what I mean?
They'll let you know.
Yeah, they'll let you know.
Okay.
So, but to leave it on a little bit longer, because leather is a porous material, you have to give it a little bit of time. Now, I'm not saying that a conditioner is going to go all the way through. It's never going to go all the way through to the bottom, So, but at least on this surface, we do have the ability to help bring it back to a malleable state. The way that they make automotive leathers, it's you'll never get anything that's going to penetrate fully from top to bottom, you know.
Okay.
But we can help it. You know what I mean?
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. As far as, say, what's more common? Punctures in leather, things like that being repaired, or is it more over time stress where has caused it to just naturally split? But which is the more common of the two repairs you guys find?
Well, with brand new cars, it's going to be punctures, and
sure,
with
sure.
older cars, it's going to be the rips and the overall condition.
I just
But,
kind of wondered if
yeah.
one just outweighed the other dramatically at all.
No, they're about equal.
Okay.
Yeah, they're about equal. I mean, because stuff happens. People get in their cars with pens and keys, and a puncture happens.
Sure.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm curious on that.
Yeah. And this goes back to that question
Yeah.
of being aware.
Right. Yeah. Just being aware of
Yeah,
your surroundings, what you're
being
doing,
aware.
be mindful.
Yeah.
That kind of
If I was parking my cruddy car next to a Ferrari, I'm very aware that I don't want to hit this car.
Keenly aware. That makes sense. Yeah.
If you're wearing a fancy pair of shoes or a $10,000 Rolex, I'm not gonna go diving in and start wrenching on motors because I'm aware that I have something that's
There's a time and a place
of a good material. You know?
That makes
So
sense.
yeah, us being aware is we have to respect the leather that's in the car. If we have really nice leather, we have to treat it this way.
Okay.
Yeah, just as we do with the outside of the, like, don't scratch my paint, don't scratch my leather.
Yeah. Well, and then this one doesn't tie into modern leather questions, but what got you into leather repair in the first place? Like, what was the key incident, the thing that got you going, oh, I actually like this? I mean, it requires a heavy degree of patience.
Yes.
For one thing.
I have a lot of patience.
So a lot of, short-tempered, I need it now kind of people just automatically out. It's not for them.
Yeah, no, it's not. I like to consider myself a crafty person. I enjoy taking my time, and I enjoy looking at certain materials and understanding, to your point about the microfibers. I love hearing about the colors, where they source the fabric, where they get this and that. And automotive makers are the same way. When they're building a car, they want to find a silk thread, or they want to find this type of button, or they want a piano finish, or they want a wood trim in this style. This is a matter of sourcing materials. And it didn't just happen to say, here, I want a piece of wood, chop me a piece of wood, and wood is wood.
Yeah.
There's a certain something that you're looking for, and by defining the quality of each piece of the material and kind of respecting its origins is definitely things that my auto detailing, to answer the question, is what got me into it.
Okay.
Through the years of auto detailing, it was very important for me to understand what an actual high-end thing is, so I started looking at not just cars, but I look at everything high-end. What is in this high-end market that makes the high-end market?
Yeah, why do people care so much about this versus these other ones that on the surface seem similar?
Correct. So a fancy pairs of shoes, or a fancy purse, or a fancy
you can be an enthusiast about just about anything.
Yeah. You can be a coffee concierge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean, and like really be scientific about it. Or we can just drink coffee.
Yeah.
And like no matter what it is that we're doing, this is a matter of how much time that we're willing to invest into it. And my years of auto detailing has invested a lot of time, and I got into it because I have a lot of patience with car care, and then I enjoy the materials. I enjoy looking at sourcing the materials, their origins. I have a lot of respect for the materials that I use, and yeah.
All right. Well, Brian, it's been a pleasure. I thank you for giving us your time.
We're ripping tents down now.
Yeah, I was going to say, things are starting to come down, so I'm thinking we're just about done here. But, good to end it with you. Glad to have you on.
No questions?
I think the questions were they're talking about Botox. So they're off on that. So,
dude, they just came up with a thing in Orlando called Brotox. I was like,
God, what the hell? No. Oh, no.
Men are doing it now.
Well, I mean, hey, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah.
But, no, all I ever know about that is the whole stiff face thing. Just
Yeah, no, don't do it.
not moving. Just
No,
seems like a
don't
bad
do it.
idea.
Yeah, we're going to Botox our cars. Maybe this will work. I don't know. Maybe in the future,
You just
Botox
go and sit
our
on the
cars.
leather seat, and it's more like one of those plastic seats in school. You just slide right out. Thing is firm as a rock.
This might be, we might be onto something.
Okay, well, maybe give him a chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you be.
All right,
But, hey, thanks,
Thank you.
Brian. Really appreciate it.
Maybe.
All right, take care. Okay, so, guys, I'm going to get these comments out of my face for one thing. I've got that box sitting right over it. There we go. That's more like it. Anyway, so, this has been a lovely day here at Hagerty Garage Social. A little on the slow side, but, sometimes that just happens. We're not in control of it. It is a holiday weekend, so I'm not necessarily that upset or surprised about it, but, you make do with what you got, right? So as far as the turnout is gone, we are about to turn this thing off. I just want to make sure I've got the right settings here. Okay, so anybody, before we go, question. You said you had a question, Umberto. What was your question? Before I go ahead and ask it. I'll listen here for a second. You just let me know while I go through and check the mobile cam. Cars have not moved. Dual angle. I need to shrink this screen. We are going through and cleaning up shop. All right. Got that there. There we go. Okay, so Joey asking, you sound like my dad, 73 and healthy as a bull. Oh boy. There we go. Okay, we are good. Anyway, giving you a chance, Umberto. I'm not seeing anything left here. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So, about the pen for Colourlock tint remover. Oh, Brian. Dang it, you know what? He walked away, and now I don't have a line on him at all. So, unfortunately, that's something you're just going to have to ask on next week's Q&A. Which, by the way, yes, there will be a Q&A next week. So, you guys can tune in for that. If you have not clicked like yet on this video, please do so. Help support us. We're out here doing the thing. I know. Sometimes you have wins. Sometimes you have losses. Sometimes you just have a little bit of a slow show. That's okay. But, I'm out here doing it for you guys. So I just appreciate that you guys tuned in. You checked it out. And maybe next time I'll have some more to show you. But at the very least, we'll be back in the studio next week for Q&A Thursday. The podcast, on the other hand, I'm not so sure because I know that we are taking Tuesday off and Monday off because it's been a day. You hear that? They turn that down. There we go. Jeez Louise. Man. There you go. You can kind of see off to the side there next to me. The Swag Ride's truck moving around. It's just that you noticed it and you didn't before. I got you. Okay. Still can't find the lens cloth online. Super Auto, before I go here, I will take a look at that for you. Let me see if I can't find it. Love it. Yeah. Excuse me. So we've got You know what's weird? You're right. It's not on our website. We used to carry those things. We have a bunch of them, but they're mostly just our logo ones at this point. So we've got a setup where we have the logoed ones in the firearm cleaning and maintenance kit. However, I'm not seeing them outside of that. So basically, the cleaning and maintenance kit is like a full-on, deal. I can pop it here in the comments. If you want me to post a link, I'll go ahead and give it to you guys. Let me just throw that in here. There you go. So you can follow that. The lens cloths are inside of that, so you can check that out. Otherwise, I would say you'd have to come out and see us at one of our meet and greets or a show like that, or at the very least SEMA, where we're always carrying these things around. We've got tons and tons of these, and they are kind of our thing. We'll pop it over to the laptop cam. I'll give you a better look at it. So, yes, they look like this. It is simply a 6x7 inch knit microfiber lens cloth. Nothing too fancy, however, they work like an absolute charm. They are the thing. When people are looking for those, they absolutely love them. They are awesome. You have a pile of 20 in your garage. Oh boy, they're not on Amazon either. Interesting. So, yeah, I'll have to ask about that, because last I checked, man, back in the day when it was just me running things in the garage and we were starting out and building up from there, we had lots of lens cloths. That wasn't an unusual thing, but must have dialed it back so as not to have to do so many custom orders on them, maybe, because I know most of our business with the 6x7 knit lens cloths was done in the custom vein of things. People wanted their logo on them for like dentist offices and all that kind of stuff, so you get the idea. But trade a lens cloth for an East Coast sticker. Ooh, okay, they're throwing it out there now. Oh, you're welcome, Ryan Rigdon. Glad to have you guys on, and I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. You see them every time you order. Oh, okay, so that's the other thing. When people make orders, usually you'll receive one in your order. I can't promise that, but that used to be the standard of what we do, so I would hope they're still doing that, but I can't guarantee it because I haven't been the one in there to check and know for sure. But I would think that that's what's going on. So you should be able to still get those just whenever you make an order as a little bonus. They just throw it in there. Because I know they keep them at the tables for that reason, to toss in as a little freebie in the order. But I'm not saying it's a promise that there will be one in every order. I'm pretty sure that's usually how we did it before. Glenn, thank you again, guys, for making the trip, and it was great meeting you. Safe travels. Glenn, thank you so much. We have an incredibly early morning tomorrow. I'm driving us with the rental car at like 3 a.m. to get to the airport. And from there, hopping a flight to Atlanta, and then we're on to, Boise. So that's going to be a trip for tomorrow. That's going to be the whole day. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you again for tuning in here. It's been fun. It's been real. And it's time to go. So I'm going to kick it over to the thanks for watching screen. I'm going to bring up the music. And y'all have a wonderful evening. I look forward to catching up with you when I'm back in the studio, either this week or next week. Yeah, no, next week, because it's Saturday. I'm so messed up right now. I don't even know what day it is. All right. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll see you guys later. You take care. Adios.